It is 4:32. Do we want to get started? Is everyone here that we know that needs to be here? Oh, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Where's
Happy New Year.
Alan? Did he?
I think he stepped out to try and get a water.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good evening. The only thing I think that we're going to do formal is just to re-announce the exit for safety. Just anyone who needs to exit or we have an emergency, you exit out these double doors. You make a right, you go down the steps, go downstairs. Do not use the elevator in case of emergency. If this stairway is blocked, you could just go out here and make a left, follow the hallway around, go down, and out those doors on the first floor. All right, so tonight we are here because there's lots to be discussed. And we're here just to do some planning and to coordinate for the 2026 legislative year. We want to prioritize the 20 of the 2026 list and set town hall dates and discuss committee meetings and things of that nature. So we have a big agenda, but I think we're trying to organize it enough to go through it. And a lot of these things we have been talking about for months and already have a decent idea, a decent plan on how to get through some of this stuff. The first thing on the agenda is a list of accomplishments, and I think Julie went ahead and emailed us our 2025 list, our legislative accomplishments, and the things that are highlighted are the things that were passed. Is that correct?
Hannah did the list, but yes, the highlighted stuff is the legislation that were accomplishments.
I definitely want to point out that we appropriated funds for the North Prong Park. The Salisbury Planning Commission was established. The funding as far as the water plant goes, that was a big deal. There's lots of money there. But much needed.
Yeah, Waterside Park's going to start construction here in the next 30 days. Yeah, that's going. And then Woodcock Park is getting new playground equipment. We had a good budget year. It's a one-time revenues, but it's a good budget year. So I wasn't prepared to discuss successes, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's nice. That's nice.
And when is Woodcock starting?
I think it's due for the spring, right? Late spring.
Spring, and then we did
Oh, Doverdale.
Overdale.
Yeah.
So that
And we're
was
going.
last fall.
We've got some more dollars. We're going to come back and just do some finishing touches on Doverdale basketball court and some other stuff throughout the city. So park should be in good shape.
Tennis courts.
Tennis courts got done, yeah. New lights, new fence,
Did you resurface it?
resurfaced, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a bargain.
Could I ask a question? Do we ever, are we even allowed to apply for the grant for open space with county?
It's usually a collaborative approach to it, but that money's been frozen by the state for the next couple of years. So there's a lot of pivoting going on in the levels for that.
That said, that's where the tennis courts got done, through the open space grant.
Okay.
So that was $90,000, I think. We got a lot of value for that 90, I can tell you.
It looks great. Looks great. The amending of the city council regulations and rules of orders was done.
Carroll Street got redone. That was a success.
Yes. That was a success.
Yeah.
Huge.
Felt by
I
many.
say, Sharon,
Felt by many.
anyone else want to look at the list and just kind of go through that?
Oh,
Putting that on my tombstone.
yeah.
My goodness.
It's aggressive.
Now can we get Fitzwater Street?
Oh, God, yes. No kidding.
It's like an obstacle course.
Fitzwater, yeah, that's next.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Especially since, I mean, you have all this quote-unquote landscaping,
Yeah.
and they're all weeds.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's also labor-intensive for the city.
is. It
For every
is.
little tiny obstruction.
Well, I assume you're gonna wait until after the townhomes are renovated before you do the reconstruction of Fitzwater Street. I
Yeah.
think so, because you don't know whether they're gonna have to go underground for,
Utilities,
utilities and things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't going to mill and repave there anyway. We were going to do a slurry, but, which is a little different approach, but, because that road's in pretty good shape, but, yeah.
Expansion too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Church Street got done.
Went back and doing some remodeling on the inside of the gymnasium as well, too.
Oh, good.
Spruce it up a little.
Glasses.
Nice.
Anything else? Anything else people can remember?
So, I mean, this is 6 pages in very small type of things that we've passed, and there's, a lot of good work done in there.
Thanks for doing this, Hannah, and Julie.
My dogs just text me.
Sorry?
My dogs were just texting me.
What's it doing?
Wow.
They didn't realize I wasn't going to be home for dinner.
You got them on your plan, I assume. Unlimited data.
My friends there were feeding them, so they were like, I didn't know you weren't going to be home. Okay.
I have one more question, Angela. if
Yeah.
you don't mind. When do we see them, I mean, I know they have started that North Prong area as far as cleaning up. How much longer will it take for them to, you're looking at me.
No, turn to me.
You're looking like you're gonna bite my head.
No, no, no.
How soon will it be before we see it, but I just want to see some more. And I know it's moving up to the corner of Lake and Isabella. Am I right?
What are we talking
The
about?
North Prong,
Oh, right.
North Prong.
So in short, as you know, we've acquired a number of those properties with regard to cleanup. We have the brownfield money. Nick from DID, he and his team are working on a scope of work to get that out for bid so that we can clean up the old Salcat property. That's 315, 317 Lake, I believe it is. That brownfield money is dedicated to that location. And then, of course, we've acquired quite a few properties along the way, so there's still a couple spots here and there that we don't own, but it should probably start in the spring, to answer your question.
Could I ask one more question? Could I be in the loop whenever you have any kind of meeting or go out in that area? Because I would love to.
I've got a hazmat suit ready for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
Right. You got some boots? Okay, all right.
Sitting in my corner, right in my living
All
room.
right, let's do it.
Ms. Jackson, there's $500,000 LPPI money that's been allocated. That's the above-ground conversation that we haven't even gotten to yet. So we'll know soon enough what we can do there, but we
Yeah.
got to remediate the site before
I
we
know,
start
I
making
understand that. I do understand that.
Is it Jeff who is handling that, overseeing that?
Travis.
Travis. He gave a really interesting overview of the plan and the steps it was going through. And I believe he said that was available April 2 on maybe his own website. I'm not sure. But he gave a very detailed description of everything, the map and everything. So I'll see if I can find it for you. And I'll send it to you.
And the reason why I have asked that, because I've had questions from the community in that district in reference to that area and the importance of that cleanup. So a lot of people, have asked me for information, and I'd like to be able to reiterate and give them a follow-through of what's really going on, you know. And a lot of people are very happy that it's being cleaned up, so thank you all
Absolutely.
for the effort.
It sounds very exciting. And I did have the retreat from 2024 notes emailed, and I certainly probably all have looked over them. It seems to me that there was a lot of things that overlap to what we're doing in the 2026 retreat or goals. Anyone have any comments or anything they wanted to pull out on that?
I have a suggestion, and just feedback would be great. For our purposes and also for Melissa, on the facilitator's notes that we had, I think it may be helpful if we went through that first before we went through the 20, because the way I see it, a lot of the 20 plugs right into the previous. We have never addressed or looked at this goal-setting session and the follow-up. And I think unless we identify, I'd like to know where we are, the update, the current status of every single one of these items. And I think I went through and tried to identify the department that would have a handle on it, because some of the 20, I don't think are legislative to start with. I think they're the executive branch, and/or they should be, for instance, economic development opportunities. That's definitely in SWED's department. And I think if we have an update, if we work on the communication piece and the sharing from the different departments on a specific topic, that we're able to lay out the groundwork and the timeline that we are hoping to accomplish with the retreat, or as we go forward for this year even. So that's just my suggestion, to, collaborate, get the update, and then find out where the 20 fit or don't fit, and what department they should be relegated to, and go from there. So Alan, Tom, Nick, Randy, probably Michelle, Angela, and April could give updates on some of these things that, even after almost 2 years, I don't know the background on them. And it might be helpful for everybody to know going forward.
Well, which one are we going to start with? Housing? The expansion of housing first. You want to give us an update on that? And we also wanted to expand SWIFT. But I think we expanded SWIFT with some funding to enhance some services that are already being offered. I don't know about the numbers that are being offered, but I wanted to talk about the housing first, which I know there's a draft of something in that realm. So that would be part of the, when we do, when we get to housing on our 2026, we're going to have a town hall in February, and that would be a piece of it, your presentation. So did you want to give us an update on where the city is with that?
With housing first, specifically, yeah. Looking at the way that model was set up, we found some holes over the years of what we're calling the transitional factors of it. So in theory, one way of looking at it is if someone comes into Ann Street and finds success, there was limited resources to then give them an opportunity to continue being successful. So meaning you did really good, now you're on your own. That's not a good system, right? So we took a kind of a deeper look at it and figured out that a tiered system is probably a good way to go, where someone builds into a higher opportunity to succeed. Whether that looks like rental assistance or unpaid rent debts or different ways to help people. But the goal at the end of it is to really service as many people as we can, but we do understand that there's collaboration that needs to happen here, especially when you get to some of the folks that are, severely disabled, whether mentally or physically. We need support when that comes. It's just lifelong payments of rent is hard. And especially when we face tough financial, situations in the city and looking at budgets, we got to be careful with what we can commit to. So there's a tiered model that kind of helps go through the baseline of getting someone into Ann Street and supporting them. and then working way up to what was known as permanent housing. So it's a good system. We're not ready to talk about too much of the details of it. HCDD is working diligently and collaborating with folks from the state, come up with, the proper processes and really looking at the numbers. It'll be a request during the budget process that we'll have to review and really dive into. But it's a good start. And I think, the narrative that got out really quickly was we're booting people out of their house, and that wasn't the case. And it was just a matter of getting it right and make sure the money is there sustainably to help people in the long run. When it comes to housing, that's a loaded topic, in general. So we could spend probably 3 hours in here talking about that if we really.
Subdivide it in 20 categories.
Yeah, right. But at least the Housing First program is looking like a promising thing.
Yeah, one of the things I think we were trying to accomplish with Housing First also was not necessarily reduce dollars, but maybe change the direction of the dollars, find the scope of the problem, the buckets of people, what's Christian Shelter doing, what's Halo doing, what's Hearts and Hands doing, what are all the agencies, what's Hope doing. And we're having a meeting, I think, the week of the 12th, I think. We're going to get together with the Christian Shelter and the group and say, hey, look, we're trying to do our own internal pit count, and who's in the mental health care category, who's in the chronic homeless category, who's in transitional, like lost a job, lost their home, whatever the case may be. But that we could take the same dollars, maybe a little bit more, and then help more people at the end of the day and kind of catch them where they are. That's the whole, rather than being so, so that's the idea.
That makes sense, because before we talk about homelessness or affordable housing or anything dealing with housing, we have to figure out, are we going to collaborate with the county, first of all, because the homeless people are not just tagged to be in the city, and you have people coming from out of the area as well. So where does the city stand in terms of their funding, their management of whatever we decide to do, and the sustainability? Because one of the biggest things with homelessness is, and I won't go into great detail, but just kind of a thumbnail, when you have grant money involved with homelessness, you may have guidelines. If you don't accept grant money, you don't have guidelines. That can be a very difficult maneuvering to deal with. And then the other thing is, if we have a really nice homeless project in Salisbury, then do we get everybody from Philly and Baltimore and Norfolk and Virginia and anywhere else? And you don't want to discriminate, but you also have to put in, some kind of definite
Guardrail.
limitations, right?
Yeah.
So the fact you're getting those together, Mayor, is, I think, a huge start. So thank you.
I agree with Sharon 100%. I think that the Salisburyans and the constituents and residents of the city of Salisbury and Wycomico County should be the first on the list.
I agree.
To be aided,
Yeah.
because if everybody finds out that we're gonna it's gonna be a conglomeration of people coming in our city and in our county looking for housing. And I'm not saying it's not what we want, but we want to be able to help ours first.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did a count a couple years ago, that we're right around 1% homelessness, a little less than 1% chronic. And like a place like Frederick is like a half of 1%, because it's just a different market. It's a different world, And people coming here more from the Tri-County area too, because we're a hub. So we're seeing a disproportionate. But to your point about the county, in a very informal, and Nick has been a part of these conversations, informal basis, a conversation with Julie Giordano, is that there are going to be things that we talk about, disparity grant, that we're going to agree on, that we both share.
I agree.
Mental health being one, homelessness being another, and that we should share that burden. Recreational centers being another. We should share that burden, and I think she's been open to that. Yeah.
Because a lot of the camps aren't in the city itself.
It's too
in the
long. We've
county
been
area.
like, this is the county's fault. This is the responsibility. The city's responsibility.
Right.
Let's get together and let's kind of work
Right.
together. So.
Yeah.
One of the things too with the county we talked about was the consolidation of services based on location, right? A lot of this is spread out. People can't get to it or having issues. And so you see clusters form around where the services are available. So is there a model out there where it makes sense to put this in a spot that people know and they can get the help that they need in these certain areas, rather than this, you run into transportation issues and everything else.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is why I was told that the tiny homes were put where they were put, so people could get back and forth to the resources they needed. But it doesn't seem to really be happening like that. And are they, I know you can't make a person, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it.
Yeah.
But if we're helping these people, then we have to have some kind of recourse on how they are nurtured and groomed through this process. If they have mental illness, they need to go and get the help. If they have drug addiction, they need to go to an addiction classes or counseling or whatever. Alcohol, same thing. They need to go. I mean, it's just point blank. It's not like you want to put them out in the street, but if you're not adhering to the rules and regulations of the city and the county, whoever, then you don't want a place to stay. And I find it a lot with homeless people because they don't like the discipline. You can't get our help if you don't want the help.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the challenges with Ann Street, is that it takes a particular type of homeless person to be successful in that model. They don't have a lot of oversight there. So to your point, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, and that is a challenge. So there needs to be all kinds of models out there that fit different, so.
So,
I think a part of that would be, in February, hopefully we're going to have a town hall on housing homelessness. And one of the things is getting the state to come back, Danielle, to come back to talk to us about funding for emergency evictions, keeping people in their homes that they're in, and also funding for host homes, mainly for transitional age youth. And I think there was another type of funding. There was 3 levels of funding.
But I thought she was supposed to send us that information on the grants when it was asked for. I thought then she said that she could send us that information. Have you received anything from her, Julie? You see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can talk all you want, but
Well, I think having her down here and having a town hall with several of the things that we're talking about regarding housing would be very helpful. And also having her come to see what we already have, like you had mentioned before, Sharon, having her come down here to see and do a tour and look at what we have,
Yeah.
to give us the best advice on maybe figuring out where to put them at a hub, getting resources in one area versus spread out, and this kind of thing. She said she would be happy to do that also.
I think that's why we need to collaborate with the county, because there may be locations in the county that are conducive to this type of whatever facility, whatever you want to call it, that we're going. But we got to figure out what we're willing to, where we're going to put your, money and what you're willing to put out, because she can do a tour and say, fine, we're going to take this big property. They've just torn down Rite Aid. We're going to, buy this property. We're going to take the property over on Olive Street that's now listed for 1.2, I think, million, which is like a warehouse. Be perfect, location and everything. But who is going to pay for it? Who is going to sustain that cost? Who's going to be responsible for managing it? And you're not going to find a lot of volunteers that will do it
No.
year-round, 7 days a week.
Yeah, I think that where the city can be helpful is on the capital side, the asset side, I mean, not the operational side.
There you go, yeah.
I think Christine's done a great job getting Ann Street up in full, but it took her a while, and she had to sift through and sift through and sift through.
Yeah.
So, and it can go 2 or 3 down tomorrow and be back, next week. So
Yeah, I mean, we have 34 cots, with 36 filled, then we have 22 that show up for dinner.
really,
It's just so erratic,
yeah,
just that whole population. And I'm not stereotyping them, it's
Oh,
just,
yeah.
it's the life
Nature
we're
of the-
leading.
yeah.
So when we start getting into a building and sustainability, you can build it.
Hey,
but-
what are you serving? I might come over. Come on, just kidding.
No, I'm
kidding.
not running it.
I'm just kidding.
and will it be, and one thing, will it be an all-day facility?
That's another thing.
Because most of the places send them out at 7 o'clock. They're gone. And that's what we don't want, the roaming around the city and being vagrant and all that. We just want people to be placed somewhere where they could feel comfortable. And it's all right for me to sleep in the warmth, but I've got to go right back out in this cold weather again. And that's kind of sickening. It's kind of heartening to the heart for us to send people back out into the same element that we're trying to protect them from. So if we got a facility, we would want to have a facility that would house them.
Take care of,
Yeah.
day facility, yeah.
And then have rules where you have to be in here by a certain time, and you have certain chores. Nobody lives for free. You have chores you have to do. And if we could help them get benefits and whatever, then they could give Christian Shelter, what they do, they take their money and put their money up until they get ready to go out into the world, and then they can suffice themselves. We don't want to send the people back out the same way they came in.
Diakonia, same way.
Yeah.
Is it possible to get a report that April was talking about from Danielle? I would be interested in reviewing it at least.
I think she probably just needs a reminder, just.
Okay.
And let's flag it for her that we haven't gotten that yet.
Any other discussion about housing? Well, we'll pick it up later as we go into looking at scheduling town halls. We'll pick that up a little bit later. But anything else before we move on?
You're going to put affordability and housing under housing? Another whole big chunk. Totally different from the homeless piece. And affordability takes on different elements as well, because I think then we've got net, and I will be quiet. But you got to build in, when you're talking about affordability, it goes back to what we were talking about before. And I just read something where, because of new state regs coming from Maryland, that you have developers that are not happy because with the new state regulations that are coming out, it's costing developers more. And so can we find a developer that's willing to sign on to take the hit of having a percentage of affordable or attain, however, you have to define that to start with. Do you have a tier system, Randy, the mayor was talking about, when people can afford different homes? And we have a developer coming in, you give him this great big lot and say, okay, we're going to build a small, I'm trying to think where, Delaware has tried a couple. Some have not been as successful as others, but you have a tier system where so many, we've talked about it before, a percentage of these are going to be a certain price range, is it for sale, is it for rent? Where are you going to put it? What is the developer going to get? You can't make it so stringent in our code that nobody wants to participate, but at the same time, you have to have something instead of the city just being told what they're going to get. Then the city tells someone else what they would like to have, and you come up with some kind of a compromise.
And there's no more affordable housing, and I do want people to know that. It is now tax credit housing.
That's true, yeah.
It's now tax credit, so if, I'm gonna say, I have a friend, and she pays $800, but she may get over $1,200. And that's probably before they take out for Medicare and some other things. So she may basically come home with $1,000. So imagine somebody moving into a tax credit housing, $800 out of $1,000, and then you have insurance, you have lights, you have gas, you have, that to me is not affordable. It's not affordable for a person whose income is very low. I mean, we have to find a way to, I guess, and that's a state matter, because that's coming from the state. So that's something that we have to work around, because we can't, I'm not gonna say we can't because we can, but we can't maneuver the state on how they feel, because most of that money comes from the state. Whatever the person is not paying, the state pays that money for them through the federal government. But I just want everybody to know there's no longer any affordable housing. It is now tax credit housing, and the only affordable housing there is this public assistance, and that's coming either near or far in the future. That's getting ready to be cut, from what I'm understanding. So it's a lot, for people. And it's going to be, these next 3 years are going to be hard for people, very hard. For parents, single families, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And I don't know how a lot of people are going to make it, because the crunch is coming, and it's sad to say, but it's true. And I do want to see affordable housing here, more of it. And I told a friend of mine, I consider that to be somewhat affordable, because it's nowhere else you could stay for that amount of money and live in a nice place, So, sometimes you take the good with the bad and the bitter with the sweet. Yeah, I'm coming up with a whole lot of old sayings now.
Yeah.
But, we just have to do what we do, but we have to make sure we put people in a safe space.
Yeah.
Now, looking at, going back to making sure we talk about the disparity grant, receivership properties, the one on Foggy Bottom was a really good example. Any property that is, in either foreclosure or tax liens, the family's not interested, say the person died, the family's not interested in it, then the city takes it over, wipes the lien out, flips the house and sells it. So now we got a family in it, and we have, that's what happened on Foggy Bottom. We did a receivership. And
I was never involved in that deal.
Not only did they flip it well.
I looked at it,
Yeah, and they have,
but privately, not for the city.
and they, and they're tax paying, and it's,
Yeah, it's good.
yeah, it's a nice house. So we might have receivership properties, maybe tax abatement. We talked about it before for, like Habitat, Salisbury Neighborhood Housing, make sure that they have a tax abatement while they're preparing or fixing the house up. Usually it takes 3 to 5 years to get a house online for Habitat. During that time, give them a city tax break. The idea is the money would go back into materials and get the house online and functioning and move in quicker. Person purchased the home, and then, of course, they become taxpayer. We talked at some point about expansion of Ann Street Village. I don't know what the parameters of that would be, but it was an idea. Also in our area, consulting with people who actually do the HUD housing, Green Street housing, consult with them, look at where they would consider, or the city would have availability or property for HUD. And then, of course, the state assistance for eviction notices, and the state to come back down to assess what other services or supports can be put in place. So those are other things that can support our efforts into our homelessness and housing efforts all as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say that, the guys on the administration side know I joke about this, but, the government has become increasingly more of a factor in trying to help with this subsidizing housing thing. I refer to it affectionately as Uncle Pete. Uncle Pete's come to help, help you move. He's got a bad back, and, at the end of the day, the market used to solve these problems, and as an example, a local town, I won't name it specifically, but at the end of the day, it sounds like the state's going to pick up like $40,000 of every transaction of that subdivision. That's an unsustainable model. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, and while they're ribbon cutting and everyone's excited, that's unsustainable. We just can't do that. So they're not really fostering a solution. They're really fostering a picture of a solution that's not a solution, if that makes any sense.
A Band-Aid.
What's
Just a
that?
Band-Aid.
It's a Band-Aid, yeah. So land costs need to go down. Construction costs need to go down to affordability to increase. I mean, and you can't. So every time Uncle Pete shows up, he's got a solution that lasts about 15 minutes, and it's another trick pony. And so, to my way of thinking, for example, in the affordable housing, is to Sharon's. We were talking about it was the idea that if you're going to go and do a project, you're going to pay a couple $1,000s a unit into the fund to help support affordable housing, and then there'd be a model that that you have to subscribe to build that project, with which you would get some help. And that might be a combination of tax credits and subsidy. But it's done locally. We don't expect Uncle Pete from Annapolis to come down. We solve it ourselves, at least to the extent we can. So, I feel like, I don't know what's just here in Maryland, but it seems like we're always looking to, Maryland, Annapolis to solve our problems, bring us a check, help us out. We got to do I think we can solve it differently, in my view, but.
You'd actually have more control that way, too.
Yeah.
You'd have more
We
control, you
wouldn't
could
have somebody
benefit.
telling us what to do.
Right,
And the math actually works.
yeah.
Anything else before we move forward from housing? We're going to go to public safety, that's the next category.
So I think a quick on that is what we approved in one of the last meetings was this flock camera system. I think will help with these crime hotspots and the data that they'll have from that, real-time monitoring and that kind of thing. So I think it will allow them to use the resources that they're short on now in a better way by using something along those lines. So that's something I think we definitely are doing and in the process of installing now as we speak.
What might be helpful with that, too, is as Chief Frampton does, comes in and gives us a quarterly presentation of what's where, what's going on, that type. And I don't want to create more work because I know that's just a lot. But in some way, if Chief Mindshine would be able to do the same, because obviously public safety falls under the police department.
No, I can talk with Chief on that.
Can I expand on that request? Would the council find it beneficial to have quarterly or at least twice a year updates from all departments?
That'd be great.
I mean, we've talked about it internally, and it's,
Yeah.
to your point, there's so many good things that happen, you just don't hear it. It's just all kind of in the background, we move on to the next thing and keep on rolling. So, I mean, if that is an appetite that you have, we're willing to have that conversation with department heads.
And it would be nice, and it would be even better if, before then, if something great happened,
Celebrate.
let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
No, I think that would be really informative because they may have things that come forward that they would want our help promoting or support for, and they wouldn't feel like they're hanging out by themselves. I mean, you've got a great system going. with all
And
the
Rob set
departments.
the bar, so,
Yeah.
it's good to have that out.
Over-reporting.
Everybody wants somebody to toot their horn for them, so,
Right.
to let people know that we appreciate, the departments know that we appreciate them.
Yeah.
We need to know what they're doing.
And sharing with the community. How else are they going to know what they do?
How are we gonna know?
Yeah. Going back to public safety, I think we hit a real win with the flock system, and that's going to really prove huge dividends for us. The technology is cutting edge, and I think it's going to give us a preventive as well as a crime-solving advantage on a lot of fronts, and it's going to make our numbers improve dramatically. I think people, when they realize, the full breadth of what we can do, they're probably not going to come to Salisbury to commit a crime, because it's not going to be a good place to do it.
Yeah, I have to say, I went out to Salisbury Police the other day and met with the chief and a lot of his staff, and we talked about the cameras, and I saw the map, and I do think that it would be good to get a report, but I do think it'll be a good system in place as well.
Yeah.
Community police and policing it all are short-term, we identify crime hotspots, public access to crime hotspots information, and better two-way communication. Exploring public safety scenarios for improved outcomes. Those were some other things that were goals.
Angela, I will say this as well. The chief did say that he was willing to provide education on the cameras because I'm not sure that in the community there's a great understanding. And he did also say he'd be willing to attend a town hall or have a meeting to educate the community on the actual camera system.
Good, because May is slated, as you know, as we talked about community policing.
Yes.
So we're going to have a town hall in May on that.
And we're talking about, okay, public safety accountability. Is that where we at this point? I have some concerns about our discriminatory enforcement. I really do. And I think it needs to be challenged. When I was asked to come and view the film, the video, I wouldn't go because I don't feel as though that it was any need for me to go. Because when I would go, every time I have gone, it's always, well, you see this, you see that, you see. You're gonna make it look good on your half, and I feel that way. You know, I saw what I saw on that one video. I just got a call from my grandson the other day in reference to something that just happened to him. And I get so sick of every time that they stop our young black men, it's always about drugs. Everybody is not a drug dealer. Now, he admitted some of the wrongs that he had done. He admitted it. But the next thing you know, they're calling the dogs. He has his iPad out recording. They take him, and I saw him push his iPad over so he couldn't record. This kind of behavior has to stop. And then they wonder why our African-American men or men of color are afraid to even be stopped by police. There was a time when I wouldn't be scared. I'm afraid now to be stopped by police because I don't even know what's running through half of them's mind anymore. So we have to challenge this. We have to do something about it. We need to sit down, and I remember one time Chief Duncan had an impartial and a partial meeting at the fire department with the police department. And we sat down and went through a lot of things, and we had people come in and tell them things that they've been challenged with on a daily basis. I've seen some of the things that, I'm not saying these officers here lately, but I've seen some of the things that our officers have done to young African-American men, watched it, was there, saw it. Some years ago, I watched the officers beat the mess out of a young man, drag my daughter out of a van, and take her cell phone. These are the things I'm talking about, unnecessary force. Because she was recording, so they took her phone. They take her phone, and guess what they did with it? Put her phone up. She didn't get her phone back for a whole year. When she went on the phone, none of the stuff that she recorded was on there. These are the things that I have questions about. This is the things that I do not like. If you're going to be fair, if you're going to be right, I don't need to see your video. I don't need to see them because I'm sick of seeing them. The camcorders, the police I'm tired of seeing them. Everybody's not making these complaints for nothing.
Well, I will say, Sharon and I went and watched the body cam, and it was live, real time. We watched it from beginning to end. There was no way to hide whatever they think might be hidden. And I saw it as legitimately, as I understand it, a young police officer pulling over a person that got highly agitated for no reason other than he just didn't like the way he pulled him over and where he pulled him over for whatever reason, and was elevated the entire time. So, and that's for any police officer, that's like a telltale sign they got something to hide. Now, I'm not saying he did have anything to hide. I'm not saying the guy's guilty at all. We'll let the, accountability board come back on that front. That said, our guy, I'm not sure how our guy could have done anything differently to bring that to a close. Now, that said, as it relates to the percentage of the stops that this is a problem, it's a fraction of a percent. So, yeah, you're going to have these situations where it's kind of like, well, what happened? Who was really at fault? But in this case, I can tell you, had I seen that there was a problem, I would have made an issue with it. We all would have, but I didn't see it.
But let me say this to you. If you saw somebody make a road stop
Yeah.
all the way on Parsons Road and you decide to stop them on North Division Street, I don't blame the man. I'd have been upset too. Why are you pulling me over? If you saw me do this there, why didn't you stop me there? Why did you follow me almost a mile away to stop me?
The understanding I had was it was because it was on 50. They didn't want to stop him on 50, so they wanted to get him
He
off on
wasn't
a...
on 50, he was on Parsons Road.
No, but initially, but when he turned on to 50, it was like, so I think,
I don't want to speak on this too much because I am not a law enforcement expert, but what I was told from the chief is it's very common at night for them to follow somebody a while to see if they are intoxicated, to give them a reason to do a field sobriety test. Again, not an expert. That was what I was told when I asked the same question. I wouldn't know that because I'm not in law enforcement.
I'm not either. I did take criminal justice for about 3 years, but I can say this. It needs to stop. I have seen them stop white men. And I've never seen them go through the stuff that we go through. Never. Not one time have I ever seen them do what they do to our men. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I don't want to see it happen again. I mean, and I'm quite sure it's going to happen again. But it doesn't need to happen. Treat everybody the same.
It might be helpful to find out what type of classes or training that specifically are required of the police officers, and ask Chief Mindshine to give his input on how to make that maybe more effective, with input from you, April, or from people that have experienced that, because I can't imagine that they would think that I can't imagine they wouldn't find that helpful.
I would just like to see, like the chief did before, some years ago.
yeah.
She had that
Input,
class
yeah.
right over there at the fire station, and people from the community did come. And they did tell her what their challenges were with the police department. And we had some other people come in that were more advanced, and I guess from another police department or from a higher up police department that came in and took us through the course. So we could better understand it, and I think that's what we need. We had officers in there, we had city council members, we had community in there, and I think that's what we need to do, is sit down and have these kind of meetings. And I'm not saying everybody's gonna come, but for those who do come, then they'll get to learn, and then we'll know better, and then we will know our rights, because I'm not gonna say half of them don't know their rights, because most of them do, but the fact of the matter is, I just wanna see it stop before somebody gets seriously hurt.
That's definitely something I think we can arrange when we have that town hall, and have it in a place where it can accommodate the training. Yeah.
And it has to be advertised as a safe place to attend.
Infrastructure. Short term, identify priorities, improve internal, external communications. A midterm goal, develop enhanced dashboards for infrastructure categories, the water, sewer, roads, hardscapes, technology, and other. Water sewer conversations with Wycomico County. I don't know if that part has happened. Long-term progress towards financial sustainability, excuse me. So, who wants to start off on that? Do we want to start with the water sewer infrastructure? There's been a lot this year with us dedicating a lot of money to the federal mandates for the PFAS and the update in the filtration system and that kind of stuff. Anything else? We've identified that.
Who wants to jump in? You want to jump in?
I'll talk on PFAS because I think it's a huge accomplishment
Yeah.
that we're not using any of our dollars to make that happen. That's really promising from
Thank you.
Corey and her team.
It's always my favorite.
Jobs. That's a pretty expensive project there, and it's the first of many to come. But at least we got the investment to make that happen. So that's a pretty big project you'll see in the next couple years going underway. I think design is 99% done. I'm not going to be too hopeful, but it's almost done. So that's a big accomplishment. And then working with the county, I think you guys were in Naylor Mill and expansion out that road, connection down to the Amazon, where that's coming in and bring on
So
some of
they're
those
currently finishing up a water study, and then in the CIP, we have included funding for a wastewater study too. So looking to see where the opportunities are there between the water and the wastewater side.
Yeah,
Have we had any conversations with the county,
about,
water sewer conversations? It's one of the things in our infrastructure from 2024.
It's a very broad
It is.
topic. I mean, to answer your question, yes, we
It
have
is.
talked with the county about water and sewer.
Can I ask a question? I just had some citizens ask me about, they're doing, want them to, I guess, the sewer on, is it not Dutchess? No, Lord, let me get it right. Off 50. They're asking that the residents there
Taylor Mill Road?
sewer over to city?
No, Councilwoman Jackson, you're thinking of 3 locations, one of which is off of 50, and I can't think of it either. It starts with
Delaney,
Delaney,
Delano.
yes, thank you.
Delano.
Delaney, Lincoln Avenue, and then Richwell Drive.
Okay.
So there are 3 projects going on at the same time to
Okay.
provide sewer
Sewer,
to
okay.
those neighborhoods.
Okay, okay.
Delaney,
Delano.
yes, thank you.
Yeah, I think we're okay on the water side in terms of funding and process design. We're now working on the sewer side of the PFAS, which is a whole nother kettle of fish, which we're in the study phase at this point. Corey did a good job getting ahead of it. We were in the position to be shovel-ready when the state decided to hand out some dollars, and they did. And it's a very good deal for us, so that's, kudos to her. And so now we're working on the sewer side. So, we've got the water sewer extension money that they're going to be doing over on the President's Row and then over by Regency. We're considering changing our annexation agreement to have a kick-in date that they wouldn't, that they'd either be annexed in or they'd pay a payment in lieu of taxes fee, so that we can start collecting dollars that we can reinvest in infrastructure over in these areas. Sometimes we're just doing sewer, sometimes we're just doing water, so it's a way for us to monetize those annexations.
We have had some success too with the road and hardscapes in regards to 2 communities being repaved. Or was it 3 communities, or 2? At least 2.
Yeah, at least 2.
Okay.
Well, and then you had all that work over here on First, Second, and
Oh, yeah.
Delaware Avenue,
Hey.
West Main
Jackson
Street.
District.
Who's your favorite mayor is what I'm trying to say to you.
3.
I thank you.
community.
But I
That's
thanked
what
you
I'm
when it
saying.
happened.
They got that shirt made up, I'm sure.
3 communities.
Shoemaker Manor, Spring Chase.
Chase.
Then you had as you mentioned already, the Carroll Street work and the Market Street work. And then there's, once we get this bond issued for next year, then there are other projects in the queue for paving.
That's been a big success. So I think that's been nice.
Yeah, present company excluded. The biggest hit, I think, was the zoo. The zoo is the paving down at the zoo.
Yeah.
My God, that looks like,
I think
that looks amazing.
The streets would, I actually stay paved at halfway if we stop those big trucks from
yeah.
coming through
Yeah.
that neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's one of their main problems, having those big trucks, those 18-wheelers,
Yeah.
come through that area on West Main Street. Off of 50, they come up Parsons Road, Mitchell Road. And I think that would slightly help with the repaving of the roads. It wouldn't have to probably be done so often because that road was in critical shape. I can't speak for the Lincoln Avenue area prior to, but I can imagine it was terrible too. But because of the weight of those trucks coming through, and they're still coming through,
Yeah.
that's helped erode the roads.
As you're aware, in 2023, we performed a street condition survey, which is available on the city website, which sort of shows where you sit in the line, so to speak, in terms of condition.
And I'm gonna tell you what else, Mayor, I have to pat you on your back again.
Uh-oh.
The floods
Oh, yeah.
in the Fitzwater Main Street area, the one on Lake Street is nowhere as near as bad as it was. And I've not noticed the one over by Pep Boys. Now, I'm not sure.
That one's fixed too.
Yes, so I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the city and everybody who had a hand in that, because that was a terrible, terrible mess it
That
was.
was the tires, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was under your, up,
The railroad.
Railroad tracks.
Actually,
Okay.
Avenue is where the choke point is.
Yeah.
We've been doing our due diligence to try and clean up
yeah, we're gonna do a little bit more over there too here in the next couple
off
of weeks.
Northwood Drive.
Off Norwood Drive, yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Y'all good.
So infrastructure's been pretty solid. I want to also point out in that we talked about technology, and I think part of getting the City Hall building and going to renovate that and put technology or IT in there is going to be a big deal, because I know I was over the IT recently and they're really squeezed.
Yeah, the squeeze is
Really
right.
squeezed, yeah, it's really bad. So that's a piece of this too. So we've done a lot in that area. Anything else with infrastructure before we move on? Finance. Well, since we just did have a perfect audit, I don't know what else we could say. We had a really good audit, so that was nice. True?
Yeah, good audit. Obviously, the CIP will be coming before you guys in the next couple weeks. We're planning on possibly the 26th of this month.
Nice. Wow.
So have the CIP.
Early delivery.
Drum roll, please.
Yep. Yeah, we've been working.
Nice.
Sandy and her team have done a great job with it.
Thank you. That's
And then
outstanding.
obviously, that curtails into budget. So we're trying to, again, I wasn't here last time, but Alan has been diligently trying to speed everything up so we have more time on the back end to have real discussions and not being squeezed at short deadlines.
Nice, and thank you. And then category B, goals, quality of life, fun, happiness. Then we had culture, economy. Conversations on any one of those?
I mean, the New Year's Eve ball drop went pretty well.
Yeah,
Melissa and I and Mayor were there. I was surprised at how many people came out considering how cold it was.
Yeah.
She had a lovely.
I wasn't surprised.
I,
It's always a blast.
yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
our third Fridays are really nice too, well attended.
Yeah, I think the biggest kudos is with the events team. When the Arts and Entertainment District transitioned their priorities as a nonprofit, that ABCD team just picked it right back up and kept it going. You didn't see a fall off from those events. So I think that's really,
That's nice,
it's commendable on their end.
nice.
And they're already planning for the Folk Fest. We have a meeting tomorrow, actually, to
Nice,
see where we're going with it.
very nice.
Good stuff.
Plus the community art.
Yeah,
Just do mine over there.
yeah, the public art master plan has been really successful in helping guide some of these narratives, and at the same time, we have sustainable funding coming from the Maryland State Arts Council to help. So I think that's reflective of the work that we're doing and the time that's going into it. And then just a shout out to We Are Limitless and their Shore Walls event. I don't know if you guys are tracking this at all, but it's a new mural festival that's going to be downtown in the spring. So all kinds of new stuff always happening. I think they're up to 170 events that they touch in a year. Not that they manage directly, but they're a part of all of that. It's a wide array of people that are supported. So it's good stuff.
Nice.
See, when we have these quarterly reports, we'll know all these good things.
Yeah, exactly.
We're,
Give her more to write. Give her
I'm a dog with a bone,
Give her
aren't I?
more to
What
write.
can I say?
yeah.
Anything else in this area? Economy, we talked about communication.
Communication is the crux of all of this, quite frankly.
Thank you.
Because if it's not communicated, then things.
We don't know.
Get
Yeah.
started, you either don't know or you make it up, or it just takes on a life of its own with everything.
I think I made a comment to Alan a couple of weeks ago about the fact that we can't just be putting out press releases about road closures
Yep.
on social media. That shouldn't be what our social media is used for. We're talking about promoting the good things, and that needs to be a part of that. That needs to be part of that plan. In fact, that should be the road closure should be the thing that, like, people see, but they scroll by. We need to be focusing on using those platforms to our fullest. I mean, we have programs that show us what people are looking at, how they're responding in comments and things like that. we know what people are asking for through those platforms. Not, and it's just, I don't see that as much.
Roads closed, turn around.
Yeah, yeah, well, like, that's, I had
Well, I
that
think you try to hit people off before
I had that
you go.
exact conversation with Victoria today. It's like, what are we doing these road closures for? But to your point, people, yeah, you get a new manhole cover. Not exciting news. Let's stop talking about it. And it seemed like Jefferson Street, I guess we did a few weeks ago, they did some work over there. It's like, how many people live on Jefferson Street? We love people on Jessup Street, but there's probably like, 80 people,
I think
30,000
you
people live in
know.
the city. So,
I do. It's very
What's that?
I think it's good to know because if you're traveling for work and you're traveling from out of town,
Yeah.
you don't know where the road closes. I'm gonna tell you, be honest with. I can ride and know the road. The closest still go the same way. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my God, why did I come this way? And I see it, but I think for some people, they need to know. I mean,
Add
you don't have to do it so as
saying.
much. You can
I'm
do
not saying no, don't do it, I'm just saying
Just say
that
add
needs to
to
be
it.
not the basis
Yeah.
for
The
what we're
social
using,
media.
the social
yeah, Carroll
Like
Street,
that's-
yeah. Okay, let's talk
Like
about it.
that's, we need to be promoting the good stuff
Pemberton Drive, let's
that's
go.
happening. Things like what's happening at the zoo,
Yeah, you're not wrong.
stuff like that.
Well, the zoo's its own natural
I know.
self-promotion machine.
Yeah, that-
I mean, the downtown, a couple of highlights. So the downtown's new website that, Jordan and Derek did a presentation on has been fantastic. People are utilizing that. They're traveling in and seeing that. That is what you would call your tourism side of our city, is that downtown page. So people are seeing what's happening, and we're starting to see the community get on our calendar, which is really nice. Part of the ask going into next year is going to be a redo of the city's website. It is drastically outdated to the point where it's just convoluted back-end stuff that we can't sometimes figure out even where it is. That's just an old site that happens over time. So a refresh and a rebrand of that will be coming shortly. So that'll help streamline a little bit, because sometimes you just got to kind of start over. But yeah, I don't disagree. We need to share some more of the positives. That's what I led with earlier. There's a lot happening in this city that we should celebrate, and people too. So.
And just promote, I mean, like New Year's downtown, I didn't see a whole lot of that on there. There was a lot about the road closures. Like I said, I mean, there are events that happen that we should be promoting on almost a daily basis.
I saw some of that, but it was on the downtown Salisbury Facebook
Right,
page,
that's
not
the thing,
the
right.
city. So I think maybe
Yeah.
I can tell you those conversations are happening internally.
Yeah, they are, definitely.
Anything else before we move on to category C? Which number one on that was communication?
Yeah.
And then we had facilities, looking at our assets. And I think that's, looking at the assets, that's where that city hall came in. We're looking at that and trying to acquire that. And the same thing with North Prong, how we can best use that space.
And I almost brought this up, but I knew it was in this part, under the infrastructure, the accessibility aspect, going above and beyond. We've had discussions in the past, for instance, with the events downtown, making it more accessible, because I've shown you personally, like, I mean, we did a whole walk downtown, and some new aspects of accessibility came out of that, but not nearly as much as we need to be able to have these events downtown and make them accessible to everybody. It's like the old joke, you clear the steps off first so everybody can get in, and then you'll take care of the ramp. Well, guess what? If you clear the ramp of snow first, everybody can get in, kind of thing. So let's look at making our infrastructure take that into account and make that as a design, the design focus, rather than an afterthought or a secondary thought. That's something that I would really like to see. We got the ramp at the zoo that I've been looking for. I mean, was huge.
It's simple too,
It's-
and a lot of
it was
times
so
we just need to be notified where these things are.
Right.
We don't walk the street every day too.
Yeah, on that point, the mayor's office got their handicap situation resolved, which was helpful.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
we didn't, no
Now
big
let's-
deal.
Now let's work on the elevator.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things I will point out, though, is DID is doing a fantastic job of reassessing the Safe Streets for All funding that we did get approved, and a lot of that stuff was just so sporadic and really just unachievable, that the hyper focus has gone into crosswalks and ADA ramps and improving our actual sidewalks that exist. So that is a big undertaking that's happening in the background. Tom's a little closer to it than I am, but there is an intent and there's a recognition that we do need to improve in these areas, but you're talking thousands of miles of sidewalks. So prioritizing where we go is always a challenge. And then you're looking at accessibility, like with the library moving, how do people get there safely on streets and crosswalks and all those things? So it's kind of an ever evolving topic, right? But there is a process that we're working through.
Any kind of curb cuts, mine included.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one intersection between Parkway, Beaver Dam, and Glen Avenue. That one intersection is the only intersection in the entire neighborhood that has ramps. So, I mean, there's 2 park areas, one right across the street from my house and one right next to my house. And we can't access them. We can't use them because there's no ramp. there's no accessibility.
Those ramps are missing everywhere. We've got some
Yeah.
CDBG money that we're looking to spend in the Doverdale area. You guys
Yeah,
approved that.
Doverdale's really
And it was
bad.
very easy to find 65 locations that didn't have
No ramp.
curb cut and
Yeah.
the accommodating sidewalk, so.
I think it would be nice if we could work with the DAC in identifying those neighborhoods that need it first, those ones that maybe have a population that needs those, whether it's elderly or disabled communities. It might be a good idea to work with all of those guys to start identifying those areas, because that really is, I mean, Nick's the only one in the wheelchair that I know of in our neighborhood, but, and I'll manage, I can use my driveway as a ramp, but, there are a lot of neighborhoods that don't have that, and it's hard for them to get around their neighborhoods easily. So, if we can utilize the tools at hand, use the folks, because there are a lot of folks on that committee who serve in organizations that are aware of these issues and hear from our constituents every day about those issues, because they're closer to the issue. So they might have some insight on that.
Well, and that's what Nick and the team at DID is working on. Andy Kitzer and I drove and looked at some of these locations where these, very robust bikeways were proposed. 17 of them didn't even fit. The road wasn't wide enough right out of the gate. So it was this, pretty plan for all this bicycle infrastructure, but it didn't work. You saw what happened with Carroll Street. It didn't work.
Photo op.
So, Nick's team is trying to figure out where the walkability is, how we get
Yeah.
pedestrian safety going and that connectivity. So that's where we're trying to
Yep.
repurpose that street, safe streets for all money.
Areas that have these facilities or these that have places that disabled folks utilize, whether it's, areas around physical therapy offices. Other things.
I want to say something about that topic. Something I said early on in the campaign when I ran for mayor was that we were solving problems we didn't have and not solving problems that we actually did have. And many of the things that were touted as things that were going to be so revolutionary, like the bike lanes and streets and the rails and trails, just don't work. They don't work. They do not work from a financial or a math perspective. So they make good copy, good brochures, but they don't make sense. That's a problem. So we're trying to reorganize our dollars to actually deploy it in things that actually work for the citizens. And I want to point this out. The Waterside project, April, will be the first, apart from the zoo, there's been a couple small structures down at the zoo, first vertical construction building we've done for the city of Salisbury in 9 years. Think about that.
I appreciate it.
Think about that.
I know, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I know, and I'm not, but just think about that for just a second.
Yeah, for
City
real.
of 30,000, $60 million budget. Grants come out of our butt everywhere we go, and we haven't built a damn building yet. All this time, 8 years, 9 years.
No, it's been longer than that.
So it's frustrating. So we're going to get there.
It's been
We're going to
longer
build
than
some
that.
more too.
It's
by
been
the way.
over 10 years.
Yeah. Station 2, I think, is the last substantial,
It was in 14. I
other
think.
than Truett Street, which was,
No, I'm talking about as far as me pushing to have something
sorry.
put over there. It's been like, it's over 10 years before I became a council person.
Yeah.
That I asked, because I went to the county and asked the county, and the county said their hands were off of it. They no longer wanted to be a part of it. And
Yeah.
that's why I asked our prior administrator, why didn't you pick the ball up and run with it because you knew it?
Right.
You
right.
know, and we need that, not just there, but we need it everywhere, you know, in all the parks. We need some kind of safety mechanism for our kids to be able to, and not go to utilize the bathrooms or whatever. You're out playing in the park and you don't have anywhere to go to use the facilities.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would like to raise the point that the rail trail isn't useless. It's very hard to find a green space that would be accessible to someone in a wheelchair. So the rail trail is something
Yeah,
I would like us.
it's different than the bike lanes. The
Yes,
rail trails are different
Yeah.
in the way that it also brings a big economic boom too. And it's not just accessible to bikes. It's accessible for foot traffic, strollers.
Problem is, we don't own the adjoining properties, and we're trying to
that's
do
the
a
problem,
rail
yeah.
trail system
Yeah.
on a live rail, which cannot be done.
No.
So you have to separate the bicycle traffic and the.
I'm trying to be kind when I say this. The absurdity of it all was, again, had made good copy, but didn't make sense. And it didn't, like to Tom's point.
It's a lovely plan.
It is.
Doesn't
But it's-
work.
Well, if that's the case, then there needs to be an alternative.
Stream trail, city-owned trail, easement trails, there are lots of alternatives, but the likelihood of that project coming together is very slim. Now, you can do what they call a rail bank. You can ask the railroad to get the property or sell it
Yeah.
to the city, so at which time it becomes inactive, then we could create a rail trail. But it's just unlikely to happen with that being an active rail line right now.
Yeah, and to
Let's
tell.
say, just, I don't.
I'm sorry.
You know, it's okay, it's okay. Hey, listen, I just want to see green space that's accessible.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
need-
I want to
we
see.
need- We need to pivot to other options.
Well, that's why I go back to the Safe Streets for All conversation, is that money is there. We
Yeah,
just have to come
exactly.
up with our percentage to match it and start actually fixing some of the existing
Exactly.
sidewalks that are there.
And then that can give you accessibility into more parks and more things like that, which
Yes.
then gives you more green space that's more
And
accessible.
I know the Parks Committee has been working on something like a sensory trail and things like that too. They would really like to see, I know. So like we, you know, if we're not gonna do that one thing, that's fine. But there is a community out there that could really use something like that. So we need to find an alternative. If that's not gonna work out,
Yep.
we need to pivot, like you guys said, and find something, an alternative that is accessible, green space for people. Because, yes, we have that ramp now into the city park. I can only go so far before I have to turn around and go back.
I think the person who initiated it knew it wasn't going to go through anyway.
We should be focusing our.
Seriously, I'm not being
no.
sarcastic or being smart, but it was a good thought, possibly a good plan. But like you said, the railroad companies, they're
It's
not
lovely in concept.
Yes, they're not going
I
to
mean,
sell it. They're not
it
going to
just-
sell out.
It's just not feasible, but that's not to say
They're
that
not
we
going
shouldn't
to.
be working toward an alternative solution.
Yeah.
They do
And we
have
can work
a,
with the county for those types of things too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another county park.
my whole street, and to, you know, piggyback on what Michelle said, all of Russell Avenue has pink drawings on all the corners now, where, you know, it's been labeled by the city. And I'm not aware of a wheelchair, so by prioritizing the, you know, the areas, it will be more effective right away. They also, I think in Dewey Beach, they now have, for the beach, there is an accessible, I think I have it right, I called Matt Drew about it, because of Rails and Trails. There is a very high-end wheelchair now that, I think it's $2,000, something
drive?
hefty, maybe more than that, that,
Four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive, you can go over. And,
yeah, exactly. So the accessibility, but there's so many factors
I
to
don't dare to
get
let
into.
Nick control something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the other piece too, so, but the idea of prioritizing is really a good one, because then you really do address problems, you're being proactive, so thank you for that.
Also, I do want to shout out Culture City at the zoo. We're talking about, you know,
Yes.
inclusiveness.
They're-
They're setting the bar pretty high right there.
That
So
is-
it's making us look at all of our events and
Oh, yeah.
sub-events that can work for,
Yeah.
you know, children with sensitive issues and things. So it's really cool to see that working out there.
Really appreciative.
Anything else so we can wrap up this conversation about 2024? And we can get into what we're going to be doing for the 2026. We've got facilities, friends, allies, partners. We talked a lot about assets and facilities.
I think under friends, allies, and partners, you have to decide what you need. You just don't go knock on someone's door and say, can you be our partner? I think if we identify certain aspects in the city or specifics, and then match them up with partners, and then seek out the partners for that, I think you've got to lay the groundwork first. Work with educational partners, community groups, faith-based, okay, why? What is your goal for working with them? So I think in order to get them to partner, you have to give them a reason to partner with you.
I think if I'm not mistaken, that conversation was around the homelessness and even looking at the county health department to help with services. At the time, I think this is what spawned some of this conversation about what types of partners.
You have to make sure the partners show up. That's the other problem. You have to create a reason for that partnership, so then they become a stakeholder, they have buy-in.
Yeah.
All right, that's the first thing. But secondly, you have to make sure they're going to show up, because we created a calendar 3 years ago for different groups to come to the shelter, and I couldn't force them to come. And so it did not happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to be a function of our idea. For example, the Imagination Center. I mean, Purdue jumped right on that as seized as an opportunity to be part of it, and we've had intermittent conversations. But I think the right idea bears the right partnership and investment. Yeah,
Want to be a stakeholder if they have skin in the game.
yeah, yeah.
All right, so council, jot down your personal top 5 priorities.
What do you-
What would be your
of
top
what?
5
What do you mean, of what?
for our list?
Right.
Our list,
Choose.
Priorities.
our priorities, what our priorities would be. It could be on this list, it may not be on this list, I don't know. What are your top 5 priorities? And then as a council, we're gonna pick our top 3 and then 2 alternatives. So many good ones to pick from.
This is. Yeah. Sure. As you guys prepare that, I have another event I got to go to. It's a friend of mine's going away for a year to New Zealand, so I'm going to go to his going away party. This is a fruitful conversation. I appreciate being part of it and being reasonable and measured.
Thank you.
And to the extent we can work together in the coming year, I'm looking all forward to it. So, thank you.
Thumbs up.
Thank you.
Do you want us to go away?
No,
Nice
no,
try,
I just know
Tom.
that,
No, I'm just
Nice
asking.
try.
thank you.
Randy, doesn't he need some extra friends to go with you?
Yeah.
Teacher, may I be excused too?
Okay, so
All right, so who wants to start by saying what are some of their top priorities?
I have 3: homelessness, parks, and infrastructure.
I have election reform, housing, homelessness, and policing.
Are we just in 3 or 5?
Well, you could do up to 5 on your personal list.
Okay.
I have infrastructure.
So for me, it's homelessness, the election reform, economic development. And I'm kind of lumping 2 in together on this one because the business district incentives and things like that. I kind of count.
Are in one,
all kind of
yeah.
fall under that, I feel like. So the economic development opportunities, social inclusion, community identity, cultural strengthening, and strengthening.
Mine were basically the same. I had North Prong, social inclusion. I did have town hall meetings, homelessness, and economic development.
Mine are homelessness, affordability, public safety accountability, election reform, North Prong, youth programming, and West Side community.
Nice. All right, council, our top 3 priorities. Let's whittle it down, top 3 priorities.
Homelessness.
I think homelessness was something all
Yeah.
of us picked, so I think that needs to be top one, yes.
Top tier.
North Melissa and I, North Prong, Melissa and I were the only two said that.
The parks, so just,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Parks in general.
infrastructure,
Parks-
infrastructure, that goes under infrastructure and stuff.
Yeah, parks would be
Yeah.
infrastructure. I think that would probably be, so if we want to say
You said parks,
infrastructure.
you said it?
I said parks.
Okay, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
And I
Yeah,
know we're
parks
doing-
does become part of infrastructure, you're right, Alan.
Yeah, I know we're doing our top 3, but I also have to say, I think that, I know one of my topics was community policing. That may not be a top 3, but I do think that needs to be addressed. I mean, I don't know if we need top 4 at that point, but
Or maybe just put that on
Would it be
an
public
agenda
safety?
to do another
Town hall.
meeting that went with, when Chief Duncan was here.
Yeah.
And have that, when I said a safe space, in other words, no one's name's going to be taken if you really spill your guts and say how you feel, because the only way we can solve this is if everybody comes forward and communicates.
And I think this is an issue, it's ongoing, and I do think that it's something, even if it's not in the top 3, we still need to address
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, we're,
for the community.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave anything,
Yes.
it's really.
Yeah, it's hard to limit to the top 3,
It's hard to limit to the top
yes.
3, but I think.
It is.
like, all
It's
of
very
these things
hard.
are things that I think we need to be covering, to be really clear. I mean, the fire service agreement.
that's on there too, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something we need to take care of. You know,
So we have housing, we're gonna put infrastructure down there to include the parks, the North Prong, that kind of thing. That's all under one, okay?
Is it housing or homelessness? I wrote down
Homelessness,
Housing,
affordability.
homelessness,
together.
see,
yeah.
I think they go hand in hand
Yeah.
in some ways.
Yeah, they do.
Each one of these could take a year to work on easily.
Yeah.
True.
They're not going to be fixed in a month.
No,
No.
they're not.
And it's not gonna, it's not gonna get fixed, honestly.
Well, we'll look at some action steps in a minute, but I think setting for the housing and homelessness, by the time we can pull some things together, I do think a town hall in late February would be great. To have a town hall. January, looking at January, late January, I don't have a date yet, but we're looking at the Truett Street Gym to do a town hall on the election reform. There was a lot of discussion recently about both topics, the election reform and the appointment process discussion.
When you say election reform, define that for me, please.
Well, there was talk about having like a 3 at the ticket for mayor. Do we have a runoff? Do we have a primary? Do we have, how do we handle that before we?
I don't think that's even in our purview. It's Board of Elections, it's not ours.
No, it's.
It's not your purview. Literally not.
Excuse me, no comment, thank you. Actually, if we were going to do election reform, we would have to legislate it. So it is in our preview. And we would look at different models from different places to decide which type of election we would want. The election board handles the elections. We legislate what type of election. So
I guess my question is, I don't understand with what's wrong with the way it's been working all along. Why does it need to be reformed?
I don't think it does. I really don't think it does. I said because we're talking about money now. And if we have 2 elections, a primary and a general, we're spending more money.
That's why I previously mentioned in the last meeting bringing in ranked choice voting Maryland, because it would all be done in one election. It's kind of like a runoff and a primary all in one. So it's a little bit more complicated than that, but it's one of those things that I think we need to discuss, because this is something I have heard from a lot of constituents, and I'm sure you guys have as well, where we have a lot of folks who, I mean, we just had a room full of people in here who wanted us to address the election process and address the idea of special elections and things like that as well. So I think this is something that the public wants to see. I think this is something that the public wants us to see us at least discuss and take on as a topic of discussion. And I think that's worthwhile. Enough
The only
to read.
only reason I asked that, Michelle, sorry, April, is ranked choice election is totally different from what we were discussing at the last council meeting. It was how do you fill a council seat? And that's totally different from what you're talking about.
Yes, but if we're going to be looking at one process, we might as well just look at all of it. So I would like to.
Please don't be disruptive, please.
I
I
would like
appreciate
us-
it, there's no comment.
I-
Please don't be disruptive.
I have.
That's the,
Funny things.
goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Gonna shut down the meeting?
No, I'm shutting down you. You can just go. You're not disrupting you're not disrupting the meeting.
Good luck.
Julie,
Continue your meeting.
Julie, we need to call Chief Mindshine.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Please, don't do that.
I'm not having this.
That's unnecessary, though.
No, what's unnecessary is the constant disruption. It's going to stop. We're not doing it this year. We're not doing this nonsense. The council is discussing this. Nothing else from the peanut gallery. Enough's enough.
Huh? Did you hear what you just said?
Follow the rules that we adopted. Follow our own rules, please.
But did you hear what you just said?
Follow our own rules, please. Follow our own rules.
But did you hear what you just said?
Okay,
Peanut gallery.
all right. So back on the
And
topic.
that's what is yielded us all the time.
Back on the topic, I have heard from a
I
lot
think,
of
sorry, wait, I think warning considered, and leave it at that,
Can you-
Angela. I don't think you need to make a point of this, in my opinion. Go ahead, Michelle.
Anyway, I apologize. So what I would like us to do, I've heard from a lot of constituents who want us to reevaluate our election process. I have heard from people who would like to see us move to a partisan way. I don't like that at the municipal level. I don't think I don't think a partisan election would be healthy for us, but I think that we need to evaluate what our options are. Again, this is coming from many people that have come to me over the course of years who have said this is something, and to be completely honest with you, I've been a fan of ranked choice voting for a very, very long time. I think that is the fairest way to hold any election. I think it forces people to really be realistic about who they want to vote for, and to keep their options open, and to be more open-minded about things. So I think that this would be a good discussion for us to have, seeing as how we've had a number of constituents come to us about election reform and about the appointment process and involving setting up a special election process. I think that's something we also need to look at doing. Because we have, as you know, as someone else has pointed out, we've appointed people 5 times in about the last 10 years. We have not had a single council from beginning to end of term that has stayed completely intact since 2015. So we need to have a system in place, because this is clearly something that's going to happen where people get jobs elsewhere, or they have family things come up, that sort of thing, or their own health, whatever. For whatever reason, people have moved on. And I think this is something that we're going to have to deal with and have a discussion about, because the system that was in place was meant to be used rarely, right? If we're using it at least once every term, that's not rare. We need to put something else in place that allows people to get represented by the people they choose. rather than leaving it to just us to decide.
That's a change in the charter, because the charter's not specific.
Exactly.
And you have other municipalities, Easton for one, who has a very good solution to that could be adopted.
So, yeah,
And
I
that's
mean,
why it's legislative.
we need to have.
But that's for the like you said, the inconsistency in
Yeah.
council.
Well, I understand that we want to have a town hall, having those parties involved, you've listed several different things. Are we sure that January is going to be enough time to get all those parties together
I
to
don't
hold it?
think-
I
We
don't
have,
think.
I don't think so.
actually, we've had Pace from Salisbury's been working on it, the Chamber's been working on it, and the Greater Salisbury Committee's been working on it. And they have experts coming down, I think from the University of Maryland, that are doing, let me look at my email again, so I can.
Okay, because I haven't seen anything, and I just think we
Right.
need the right people at the table to
That's-
talk about it.
That's what we're
instead of-
working on.
Yeah. Pace is very good.
Okay.
We need to know what the constituents want.
Well, that's
I
why,
think doing a poll.
that's why
would
we're
be
doing
good.
it, that's why we're doing a town
That's
hall.
what-
So we can.
But
hear-
I still
so we
think
can
doing
hear-
doing a poll online and let people, the constituents see and let us know better what they want. Because, I mean, you're saying a lot of people come to you and a lot of people come to you. I don't know if a lot of people came to either one of y'all and said anything. It's something that needs to be visual. It needs to be visual.
That's what a town hall would be.
That's what the
Yeah.
town hall would be for.
Yeah, but you're not gonna have everybody in a town hall.
Well, again, if we want to do an online survey or something like that, that would be
Yeah,
great
I mean,
too.
you're not
think
gonna have
that-
everybody. I'm
let's-
telling you
let's
that now,
just make
everybody's not coming to
people-
no town hall. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
And that's something that
Maybe
could go out.
so,
and-
but then if we don't give people a chance to share what they want, then they get upset that we don't communicate
I'm
with
not
them.
saying don't have the town hall, I'm just saying, why don't we give the people opportunity to do a poll because when you do town halls, we used to do them, coffee with the council. How many people come in there? 5, 6? No more. No more. No more than 5 or 6 people. I haven't seen no more than, probably we did one at, one of the churches over here off of Camden Avenue.
Johns Hopkins University.
What's the guy's name? Martin Hutchinson, the church he goes to.
Community of Joy.
And we had like 5 people. And we had one over at another area on, oh God, I can't even remember. Well, wherever it was, off of Dagsboro Road. And it was about 5 people.
I'd wager if we were promoting it on social media and stuff like that.
It was promoted.
I
Coffee
think
with the
people-
council.
I think people are much more apt to show up now, okay? So let's, let's, if we want to do the survey online too, that's fine. I'm not objecting to it. I think that's a good idea. That would be, I don't know what our capacity for doing something like that would be. I mean, yeah, okay. But, let's, I think that the election reform stuff does need to be on the table, because we have heard so much recently from folks about it. I think that that's something that needs to be discussed. I mean, that's something that clearly people want to discuss.
And we're waiting for a date to be solidified through Truett Street Gym. That was a possibility. I'm not sure if it's going to be there. We don't know yet. And we're waiting for how many people doing, what kind of research is coming, because we have some stuff, but we do want to bring this stuff from Easton, but we're also looking at places like Frederick, Cumberland, Hagerstown, Bel Air, Dover, and those areas. And these would be students, grad students from Johns Hopkins University bringing us information. It wouldn't be the council to be discussing anything. It would be a listening session, listening what research is available, what options there are, and listening to what the residents and constituents have to say or want. That's the type of,
Ms. Blake, January, you have Truett Street listed, so you're trying to get it this month? You're waiting for a date confirmation?
well, we're not sure if it's going to be this.
Okay.
I think it's going to be this month, but we're kind of just waiting to solidify.
Okay.
So I forwarded Rachel Manning's email to you earlier today
Thursdays, there is something going on in the evenings at Church Street. And then she also made a note that the start time for reserving that location would be like 6:30 because the Boys and Girls Club has a program there prior to that. So she is going to plan on sending me some available dates for the month.
Should we not start with the survey? I mean, I'm not trying to push the town hall back, but if we want to hear from the citizens, it makes no sense to me to have a town hall and hear things, but we don't know what the citizens are saying. So I'm not sure January, and this is my opinion, I don't think January is a month that's going to work for this topic.
I don't think so either. I think this is something that, yeah.
It's just seem, I'm sorry, it just seems to me too short of notice. I mean, you at least want to give the citizens, at least a 2-week turnaround to respond to the survey, promote the survey, get the survey out there once we figure out what the survey is. I just don't think January is going to work for this topic.
The information that they'll need to research the election
Yes,
reform.
it's not enough time.
I just want to point out that the headquarters downstairs room, that used to be the council chambers, is available.
How many does that hold, though?
Up to 70, so. And the infrastructure, like, you got sound, you got presentations, you got everything built. That's why we
Right,
built
in
it, was
there.
for public use, so if you want to use that, it's pretty open, so just a
Oh, thank you,
consideration.
that is a good idea.
Bring your jacket.
Right, well, yeah, we know that.
Sound is not usually very good in there.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
so-
the only thing about it.
Yeah, that's true. So
It's better now,
Suitable.
yeah, but it would be fine for this.
Action on that is survey. Who's going to do the survey?
Well, we can figure that out once you know what your questions are.
Yeah, I was going to say,
What
we're
do we
going to need
ask?
to format
Yeah, I think
questions.
that's, should we just email you, Julie, questions that we might think would be relevant, and then you guys can kind of go through and, you don't have to use them word for word, but at least if you get an idea of what the information we're looking for, I think that would be good.
And I can kind of put the duplicates together. I'm not going to send them all the same questions,
I'm sure we're
but
gonna have some
yeah.
overlap there.
Perfect. Okay, so town hall for February, we're looking at the homelessness, including youth housing. That would include the host program for mainly transitional age youth, late adolescents and through 21, which there is a host program. Amber Green is in charge of that from the state Department of Housing. And also Danielle, I think it's Minister?
Meister, I think.
Meister, she works up there. We could have both of them here. It would be another resource to have to explain what our full options are, what we could apply for regards to funding, regards to additional supports, enhance what we already have, or possibly look at something new. We would have Alan there and his team regarding the things that he's working on in his draft. It would be a good listening session again for council. I was hoping that maybe Sharon would lead that up as an initiative. I know
Let's
that's,
figure out, the thing is, when you get some huge topic, and you can't just wrap it up in a half an hour, 45 minutes.
no, it won't be wrapped up. That's what all the work
But-
sessions will be about.
Right, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying, part of me feels like when you are setting up these town halls every month, why not turn the work session into a town hall, /town hall, and have an exchange? You have Julie here, you're not, you're going to abide by whatever all these guidelines are, that you can't talk to somebody more than 3 in a room or whatever. But make it a work sessions, because people are used to coming, and you have a topic, you state the topic, and you take a chunk of the work session, you say, okay, we are going to designate this hour for this topic. And you have subgroups under that main topic that you have people, they will address it. If you start moving all around with these town halls that are city, you've got them in districts, but at the same time, people are used to coming here, and I think you'll get more attendance.
Our biggest criticism was that we weren't going out in the public and we weren't in the neighborhoods enough. That was another big criticism that we heard over the last 2 years, that we weren't out and we weren't about. So, and there was many people that talked about town halls, many people. And
I also think, I want to point out that not everybody can make it on a Monday night.
Right.
So I think doing something like this on a weekend or at different times during the week, make it more accessible for people to attend who might otherwise, I mean, we have the same people coming usually every meeting, the same group of folks who are out here. And I respect that, I think, but we need to reach more than just the people who can make it on a Monday night. So having them on a weekend afternoon, something like that, for folks who work Monday through Friday, people who have kids, make it accessible for them to bring their kids along to participate. You know, those are the things that I've been hearing from constituents, is that they don't feel that they can come here because of work obligations, family obligations, that sort of thing. So
I hope you get the turnout, because at St. James Church last year before, Delegate Hughes was there, and the turnout was maybe 15 people, and that's insulting.
I'm telling you.
So if you have it and people don't show, I think you've got to have a hook to get them there.
We have to make the effort at the very least, I think, is what the point is.
Okay.
We have to make the
All right.
effort to meet people where they're at and to be out in the community where they are. And I think that is something, like, we can sit behind these desks every Monday night, but unless people are seeing us show up in their neighborhoods and their communities, they're going to feel like they don't actually have any buy-in to what is happening here. So I think that if we can get out into the community and offer opportunities at the very least, whether they attend or not, we're offering that opportunity. Whether
That
they
comes in with serving your district.
Yes.
It comes in with serving your district. I've been serving my district ever since before I even got into office. And my town halls are I just had a town hall, the Christmas event I had a town hall. I had almost 400 people in there. And I sat and had a town hall with my people and told them the things that the city was accomplishing and trying to accomplish. We don't need to just have a big town hall with all of us. We need to reach out to our districts. We need to reach out to our constituents. And we need to talk to our constituents. We need to have events that bring our constituents to us so they can better understand us, and not just us sitting behind a desk. I've never been one to just want to sit behind a desk. I want to reach out and touch the people so they can reach out and touch me too. When those people call me, I'm there. I'm calling. I'm talking to them. I'm doing whatever I have to do. And this is what they're saying. They're not saying they don't see me. They're not saying that, because they see, my district sees me. Now, whether all of them may say, I'm not for sure, but I do everything under my power to make myself visible to the people and make a way for them to access me at any time. I don't care what time of night. I make that known. Even at funerals, I'm there. These are the things that we have to do to make people know who we are and see us for who we are. We don't need to town halls are good, but just as Sharon had just said, 15 people. I've gone to several of Delegate Cherie Sample Hughes' thing, and they have had no more than 5, 10, or 15 people. None of them. And she's a delegate. She has more to give them than we do, but they're not coming. The people people can talk all they want to, but I'm going to tell you, they're not coming out like that. They're not going to do it. They're not. They can say what they want. I would hope that they would come. I really would. I want them to come. I do. I want it. I want it to happen. I want it to be real. I want people to connect with us. But we have to connect with them. The connection comes from us. That's where it comes from.
And I think that,
Excuse me. Sorry.
I think that you do that very well. I think we all are doing that in our own districts, okay? The point of this is to speak about specific topics with all of us present in one spot where we can get feedback from everybody and all of us hear it. Because like you just said, you don't know who's calling me. I don't know who's calling you. I don't know who you're hearing from. You don't know who I'm hearing from. It would be great if we could all hear from all of our constituents together so we could get a more complete view of what people want. So I think that's, if nobody shows up, I agree with Melissa that doing it in January is probably too short of notice. I think we need to start planning these out a couple of months in advance. And I'm not sure if we can do every month. I think every other month would probably be more realistic. But
Really?
if we could plan for, say, the first one in March, that gives us plenty of lead-up time to promote it on social media. That gives us plenty of time to plan it and to get the requisite parties involved and signed up and make sure that we're all on the same table make sure we're all at the same place where we want to
Please not on my birthday in March.
What's that?
Please not on my birthday in March.
Well, and also if you look at this
Bring cake.
schedule, to follow up, first you have work sessions to follow up from the town halls.
Right.
So there's 2 work sessions a month. So that's one thing. The other thing you have is the town hall that could be scheduled for March would be an actual follow-up with plans. One of the things that Councilwoman DeShield talks about a lot is we talk about things, but we don't have any plans. So we would have these town halls, and then March, we would lay out what the plans were. April, we're not going to have a town hall because that's the budget sessions.
Right.
So we weren't going to have one in April. And then, May, June, we would have one, and then in July, we would do the follow-up plans. Also remembering that we do have 2 work sessions a month. So in between the town halls, these are topics that go on work sessions. So there would be plenty of follow-up discussion between each one, which would, accelerate the topics.
Can I ask a question? Just out of curiosity. Are you going to allow public comment at these?
It's their time to say.
So can the-
It's more of a listening session for us.
Is it topic-based only, or can they come with other? Because you have people in your district who you're saying aren't willing to come here, but they may be willing to come to a town hall and speak more freely when they're comfortable around people that they're in their neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So are you allowing that to happen? Because, it's,
I think.
Well, the town halls are typically topic focused, typically.
But I think if we want to make clear to folks that if they have something, they're welcome to talk to us afterwards or to, I think we want to try and stay on topic just to respect everybody's time. I don't want someone to come out who is incredibly interested in, say, the homelessness or housing affordability and that sort of thing, and then someone gets up and talks for 20 minutes about a topic completely off. That's my only concern, is making sure that people who are there to be heard about the topic at hand are getting heard.
well, I asked the question because if you're going to send pre-surveys out, you could also send, do you have topics outside of this topic that you, as a consensus in your district, you would like to
That's a good
talk about? Maybe it's a neighborhood, maybe it's a park, whatever that is, and you send it out, and then you all can have that in advance. You review it, you can think through it, if there's
Might
just
give
this
us ideas for
resounding
future
thing.
town halls too. I mean,
Yeah,
that might be a
yeah.
topic for future.
It's just an idea, I'm just,
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
I'm just curious, but I've seen a lot of these, so it's, you want it to be, you want more people to come, but they might not if it's only a very
Right.
specific topic.
Right.
But if it's in your district and you're willing to come,
Right.
give them an avenue to give you something up advance, and then
Yeah,
you
that's
can find
fine.
that time.
I think
Just,
that's-
I'm,
yeah.
I'm not trying to dictate it.
No,
I'm just-
that's a good idea. I like that. I
Talking
like that a lot. I was trying to figure out how we could be respectful of the people who are coming out to speak about the specific topic, while also like making sure that people can feel heard.
Are you going to record these? Are they going to be
Yeah, they'll be recorded.
re-recorded?
I don't know.
And public meetings are recorded, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All public meetings.
Gotcha.
See, that's a whole other thing, because, if we have them here, that's one thing, you've got PAC 14. If you're going out live into the community, you've got to make sure that you've got somebody that can do that recording for it to be shown to.
PAC 14 does it.
Team will come out.
Well, but then again, we still have to be mindful.
Schedule.
When I was with the county, PAC 14 has a very a very hectic schedule. I mean, I understand what we're trying to do too, but I also think we need to make sure that all parties involved are understanding.
They
Well,
would-
maybe we could
they
talk
would
to the
be.
comms team too and see
Yeah.
if they can maybe.
I think we have a lot more planning to do for this personally.
Yeah.
Well, this is
I
why,
think we
this is.
scheduled this for March, and let's have more conversation, maybe not right at this moment, but
That's-
I don't think we're
this is a-
ready.
But this is the planning session, so it's good that we could plan, and if we need to hold off or go back, that's fine. None of these are written in stone, they're all suggestions. These are just locations and times to be announced. These were ideas, and the retreat is the planning session.
Well, then we need to have a lot more detail than just setting a date and saying this is what we're going to discuss. I mean, you've got to look at locations. That's why I'm saying I think this is more than a 10-minute, 20-minute discussion tonight, because we have to look at location, who's going to be there, who's involved. It's not just as easy as setting a date and having people show up.
And who's mediating?
Well, the first one I said, remember I said the Greater Salisbury Committee, PACE, and the Chamber? That was
Are
for the first.
mediating?
They would sponsor it, and then the students, the grad students from the University of Johns Hopkins University would be there, and they are looking at, let me see here. They are looking at, they're doing research on elections in municipalities, and they have Easton's would be here, Frederick, Cumberland, Hagerstown, Bear Isle, and Dover. So,
Is this already scheduled, Angela?
no, it's not already scheduled. We haven't even secured a time or date even from Troy Street.
So this is so now I guess maybe I'm just a little confused. So this is our town hall, but then all those people are moderating it? Or they're providing us with information?
Yeah, so I think the idea was to have people come in and kind of lay a baseline of information out for us and for the public on certain things.
And then the public gets to tell the council, they get a chance to speak on what they want for, and then we sit down and take a bunch of notes. And then we would bring all this back to the work sessions and process out in the work sessions what we would do with it next.
Okay, well then I think we need to set a date, because we need to figure out where we're going. You've got people's schedules, we need to find a location. I mean, you said this
So you're doing
before
the
we're supposed to
survey
do
now or
this.
not?
Yes, I think the survey we've talked about needs
It's
to go out right
imperative.
away.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, without the survey, what's the point?
I can get the questions to you by Wednesday,
Yeah,
so I'll put that as the action item.
yeah.
But if we want to hold this in March, and you said this is the session to plan that, then,
And we're almost in
We
the
need to
middle of
plan it.
January now.
right, I mean,
Right, so this is.
Yeah.
we need-
And you
so we
gotta-
need to look at calendars, pick a date, find, and make sure
Yeah.
we have a location, talk to PAC 14. I just feel like just coming from the county years ago, there's a whole lot that goes into this. It's not just a matter of holding a meeting and people show up. So I kind of think there's a lot more discussion that needs to take place. And I don't know when we do that, if we do that now. I just don't think we're ready.
The retreat, that would be what we're doing. This is a total planning session on what we would like to do over this next year.
Okay, well then, where's our location for March? What was our thought?
Well, we could do headquarters, it looks like, could hold it. Troy Street Gym could be another place.
I can see about Chipman Cultural Center,
A Chipman
Yeah,
Culture Center.
Chipman Cultural Center would be a good one.
because I
That's District
So-
4.
yeah. I
Okay.
know the,
Yeah.
That was, so we have the Chipman, we need a date? Because we need to make sure PAC 14 is, I guess there's a place, I've been to Chipman several times, I don't remember it being recorded. April, there's a way for them to record.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
there's actually a.
So we pick a date, we say Chipman, we have to reach out, obviously, to Chipman to make sure it's available, and to PAC 14, but I'd say we need to pick a date and get the survey sent out.
Yeah. Well, I think the picking a date is going to be difficult without speaking to Chipman first.
Well, I agree.
Well,
That's why
I'll
I
call
said what I
tonight.
said about
Yeah, I
we
mean.
can't.
If
I'll call Miss Green tonight, Dr.
Okay.
Green tonight.
Thank you. And then we'll pick our date at the next meeting.
And if not there, I'll see about the Inspire. Inspire one.
Inspire one.
How big is
That-
that?
that
That
would
might do more than
It's big.
70.
That would probably be bigger. That would probably be
Yeah,
better.
I was thinking that
It's
might do
also
more than-
accessible because getting into Chipman is kind of tricky for.
Well, you're only gonna be downstairs anyway,
Right, I know.
so you're not
Right,
going in,
well, no,
and
I
then it's
know.
got a, what is it,
The ramp.
right, the elevator in the back, so.
Yeah.
Parking at Inspire is much easier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
other thing. is
I'll ask Samuel.
Does that do, that
If
does
he's
more
still
than
not
70,
heartbreak
doesn't it?
broken from
Yeah,
the
oh,
game
yeah.
last night.
More than 70.
Oh, my God, that was terrible.
Do not go to
And then I guess once we have that in place,
Yeah.
April, does that do
Chipman
more
would
than
be great,
70?
but it's parking there.
Inspire, does it do more than 70?
Oh, yeah, it's big. It's a
Okay.
real big place.
Yeah, no, it's a
very
good,
big,
it's a
yeah.
good size.
Okay.
It's good size.
Yeah, they should, I think, last time I was at an event there was probably.
We were all there
Yeah,
for the forum.
there was probably, what, 150 or so people in there? Mm-hmm. That's what I say, I think people.
I'll ask
show up. As
Sam.
long as we're promoting it, we put the information request, like the survey request out to folks. If we do that, and then we, even before we have a date, like, I think that needs to go out, like.
oh, the survey needs to go out immediately.
The survey
No, I
needs to go
agree.
out, like, by I would say just by the beginning of next week at the latest. And then, once we get the date, we can as we're pushing that survey out.
But what are we pushing the date to, so I can ask for that date? See, if I don't have a date, I can say sometime in March.
Yes.
That's not gonna be,
Let me look.
No.
Well, let's look at our calendars, and in your bags, you have calendars too, in case you didn't bring one.
oh, good
Squeeze it
Lord.
in with all the road closure posts.
There you go. Right. There you go.
One on my phone.
By the way, we're closing this road for a town hall. Let's see.
Well, you don't want to don't do it on your birthday.
My birthday's the 6th.
Okay, so you want to do it the next week.
Yeah, do it the next week.
All
I
right,
don't know
do it
where
the
I'm
following week. Do it the following week.
Want to do it like on the Saturday? I think doing it on weekends would allow for people to attend a little bit better. Like I said, I mean, weeknights are tough for families and
What do you think?
working folks.
Saturdays are even bad for people because people find something to do on a Saturday, if not
Well, I mean,
anything
that's
but
why I
rest.
plan out this far in advance, so people mark their calendars and put it on.
Football
the
games
calendar.
and things.
Yeah, I would say like I would say a Thursday.
A Thursday evening?
So
Like 6 to 8?
12th?
Yeah. 6 to 8.
That would,
And I'm not sure I'm gonna call Chipman and Inspire one. I know Chipman did tell me that they will let me have anything that's community oriented for nothing.
find
For the
out.
12th,
I think Inspire One would probably be a better location as far as parking is concerned, because that parking lot and people would end up having to park on the street and try and find their way to it.
Are we gonna have to get which one they give us? Because Inspire might charge, and I'm not, I don't wanna
No.
put us in that kind of position, so we
Well, I
take
mean,
the better.
maybe if we just say, look, this is a community event, this is something.
He may.
Maybe they,
I know I'm Samuel, so we'll
yeah.
work
see how
something
they-
out.
See
Okay.
how they respond and see how that goes.
and the 12th, what time did we say?
6,
6 to 8.
And I know PAC 14 can hear us, but maybe they can let us know if,
Well, if we can connect, first of all, with the date, let's secure the date, and then we can ask PAC.
okay.
And
yeah.
I'll let Julie know
Okay,
by tomorrow.
thank you.
yeah, okay. And we get her questions into Julie by Wednesday.
Wednesday. I can get him in by Wednesday.
Yeah.
Are you all getting them in?
Yeah, I'll get them into you by Wednesday too,
So everybody's emailing me questions by Wednesday?
for the survey, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think that needs to go out by Monday at the latest.
Is that doable?
I was about to say it'll take us a little bit of time to
Does-
turn that around, but
It does help-
not terribly long.
Not terribly, okay. All
For
right,
the
I wasn't
survey, plus
sure.
The end of the following
We
week.
need some information
Okay,
for that, I mean, if we're gonna ask people to decide on, voting or reform, we need to give them the information that they need to know. Okay, what's the difference between this and this?
well, I think if we can link to, I mean,
Because people gonna wanna know, what are we changing the vote to? You know, you ask people, they wanna change a vote to the election reform to whatever, but they need to know what they're changing it to and what for, and just give them a brief
Like a
synopsis of
definition.
what it is.
Well, I
Yeah.
think maybe asking people what they already know of these would be a good idea. Like, I mean, what do you know about the
I'm
different?
quite sure a
type-
lot of them don't know.
Well, that's just it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We're starting at ground zero with a lot of folks who don't have a lot of information. And if you just try and throw a bunch of information at them in a survey, here's what I know, myself would do is if I saw a big, explanation of what different things are, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna fill this. I'm not gonna fill this out. I'm not gonna read all this.
Simple is probably better. Do you believe that election reform is necessary in the city of Salisbury? Yes, no. And then you can go from there.
Go from
Your
there,
other
yeah.
questions, because, I mean, I understand your perspective. You're like, well, what am I saying yes or no to? I think you're just trying to capture here whether or not folks are even engaged.
Do you
or
feel
having
our
an
election process is good the way it is, or would you like to see a change in some regard? What kind of changes would you like to see? That sort of thing. I think that would be reasonable to ask.
So you have
And
to
at
limit
the
it.
town hall have the information they need. Does that help out?
Yeah,
And that's, yeah.
I think that would be good.
Would you attend a town hall? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the shorter the better, too. You don't want
Yes.
20
You don't-
questions.
No, you don't want a
No,
bunch
you
of
don't.
questions.
Half dozen questions probably get you what you
Yeah. I wouldn't do more than 3 to 5 questions. So, okay.
Where are the questions coming from, you all or us?
count.
Council, we're gonna submit questions to Julie by Wednesday. And then she's gonna go through them and kind of parse which ones
some,
are
yeah.
probably the most, I would say that which one, nothing real specific, like just really broad questions, just to get a good idea.
So how many overall topics are you going to address?
So we're talking about the one for election reform,
Elections,
right?
I think,
So-
just for this.
For this one, so it would just be, do you feel our election process is fair? What would you like to see changed? If so, do you,
That's it, so the topic, so they know what the topic is,
So
they
they know what
know
the
the
topic
questions
is,
are
and then-
relevant to
yeah.
that, yes, no, done.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to make it too complicated for them, And like you said, I mean, people are going to be coming in very low information, so. On any of these topics, truthfully.
All of these questions, just so they have some clarification, you're just wanting like a question and then room for them to put a yes or no, or do you want them to be able to?
You could either be like buttons, and if there's something like I would definitely give them at least one like text box to write what they feel they need to, like any of their own like thoughts or something,
Right.
just to give feedback, because that could be something that we can discuss is like, hey, this was a suggestion from a constituent
Right.
from the survey that we put out, like this is what we're, I think that giving folks
At least one area for that.
at least one
would be
area for
good.
people to be able to like
Yep.
write out their thoughts.
I
So
agree.
comments at the end.
Right.
Is that what,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's
Comments.
Okay.
comments. So,
Comments?
comments,
concerns?
questions, thoughts.
So I'm assuming that you'd be willing to take feedback from us once we see the questions in terms of
Yeah.
format,
I wouldn't have
how
a
it
problem with that. Yeah.
flows. That's
I would totally trust you since you do this.
Yeah, I honestly, I honestly, I'm sending the questions to Julie and trusting the process,
Okay.
so like, I mean,
Well, before anything goes out, we'll make
Yeah, no, that's
sure you're
cool.
comfortable with it.
That's cool. I would say almost up till the actual date of, because I think people are going to, as people become aware of the event, I mean, I don't know how long we usually leave this stuff up and promote it. I'll push it out as much as I can.
I would say at least close it 2 weeks before the
Right.
town hall.
Yeah, give us time
Because
to
you don't
go,
have
We had to
time
review the
to
feedback.
to go
digest
over,
the,
Right.
right,
Comments.
yeah. So, yeah, I think up to 2 weeks beforehand. I think that's fair.
I even printed the coffee with the council, I even printed flyers and put them out different places where I would go
Yeah, I've done that for other events too.
that allowed it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think,
so that's election reform. Any thoughts about the top priority, which was the homelessness and housing? At least we could address the top priority.
yeah. I think I think it would be, are you talking about for a town hall? Are we speaking on a town hall?
Well, that was another big issue was
Yeah.
the
So
addressing
I
it.
think waiting
not doing
for that,
anything.
waiting for the housing first stuff to get completed is probably a good idea.
When is that going to be done?
End of the month,
In a month?
by the end of this month.
Oh, by the end of this month.
Okay. So then maybe we can plan on that being the one after the election reform.
Okay, but April, I just want to bring April, the month April. April is the budget sessions. So did we want to leave April open?
Yeah, I think.
I think we should leave April open.
For budget sessions and things like that.
Let's do quarterly town hall.
Yeah, I think that,
Because if you do too many, that people get, look, honey,
people get overloaded and they're not,
gonna
I can
come.
promise you, the drop off is
all.
going to be insane.
So you want to do the homelessness
Homelessness,
Youth
affordable
and
housing.
housing
in June?
first. In June, I think that would probably be good.
Do we want to at least look at a possible date? Or Thursday still good?
I think. So if we're looking in June, the only thing about doing it in the summertime, especially in June, is that's when school's letting out and people are starting to go on vacation and stuff like that. So that's my only concern. So, I mean, if,
The beginning of June is going to be the end of the budget session stuff too, just
right,
as a
so there's
reminder.
that. So you're looking at the end of June at the earliest. I mean, if we want to do Thursdays, I almost want to see how this first one goes on a Thursday. What do you think? Because I think, I really have a strong feeling that doing it on a weekend is probably best for people, because I think that there's so many people that I have talked to who have complained to me over the years about not being able to come to meetings and missing the Zoom option, which is something we need to bring back a discussion about. Off topic, but, you know, being able to,
Got a lot of sports in June.
I know, I know, that's what I'm thinking.
On the weekends.
Summertime in general is going to be hard, and that's
Every weekend, right, Sharon?
Exactly.
every weekend, yes. Well, that's the other thing. It's summertime in general is just hard, period, because people are dealing with schedules out of whack, with kids being out of school. Sports, all of that stuff. I almost like the idea of doing quarterly, but there are so many topics we want to tackle.
But you need to do it well. It's not a case of
Right,
checking
I know,
off,
I
I've
know.
done this topic, I've done that topic.
No,
You've got to do it properly.
Absolutely, I agree. I'm trying. That's why I was suggesting like every other month at the most, but I think quarterly may end up.
And we do have work, and just keep in mind, we do have the work sessions twice a month. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking about for the people that are attending, and not for us.
Yeah,
I'm
I
thinking
know.
about the
I know.
people attending the town. Because I know how it is trying to get some people in a room once a month for a meeting on their schedules, and it's not easy at all. So, I kind of like the idea of doing the quarterly, which would push it to July, which honestly, I think we need to pick it back up in September. I mean, if I'm going to be truthful, I think picking it back up in September is probably the better choice, but it would have to be like towards the end of September, because kids are starting school back up after Labor Day. Labor Day this year is on the 7th, so you'd want to give it until the following week at least for people to get into their groove with kids going back to school. So,
Can I just make a recommendation?
So we're doing it
yeah,
in June?
what's that?
Why don't you just do March, June, September, and December, so you have some dates, that's
Right.
quarterly. You
Have some-
you say the second Thursday, so
And
you're
even if you have to
consistent with
cancel
it.
them, you just do it.
Okay.
But at least you put something out, then you put your survey out, you can start gathering some feedback, and then
June.
Okay.
you can, I'm just making,
You said
Yeah, no, that's
June,
fine.
September.
That's cool. No, I'm totally okay.
that's quarterly.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
quarterly.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, March, June,
And you just say the
September, and December, yeah.
second Thursday? That way
Thursday,
there's
yeah.
consistency in people's minds?
Yes.
Yep,
And
I can do
then-
that.
Yep.
And then
Second
we can
Thursday.
figure out a location as you go, right? I mean,
Right.
Second Thursday in June, we're still going to be doing budget.
Second
I'm
what?
just Thursday in
Thursday in
June.
June, okay, so.
And then the following week, the 18th is a Thursday, but keep in mind that the 19th on that Friday is Juneteenth and the city offices will be closed. So I don't know if that
Yeah.
factors in or not.
Yeah, no. How about the 25th?
I don't see anything on
I
this
mean,
calendar.
I know it changes the schedule, but
But we can go back to the regular schedule after the.
yes.
Yeah,
So let's go with the 25th, if that
yeah,
works
that's
for-
fine. That works for me.
March 12th, June 25th, September 10th, December 10th.
I mean, and then too, I'm gonna say, it don't necessarily have to be every Thursday that we have a meeting. We could be flexible with what days, so we could see how people would come, you know.
Well, that's
on
what
a
I'm
certain
saying,
day.
like, if we want to move them around, I know, I like the idea of the consistency, because, you know, people are creatures of habit, they
mean,
like know it having
consistency
a
is
pattern.
fine, but I think if somebody might not be available that Thursday for the first meeting, they may be available for the next quarterly meeting on a Wednesday or Tuesday.
Right.
As Blake explained, you have work sessions, so
Yeah.
you gotta put something out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Consistency. We should get it out.
the 25th,
Yes.
yeah.
And then you said September 10th,
December 10th.
In December.
December 10th?
Both, September.
Oh.
September and December 10th.
Make sure I went to 2026 in my calendar.
I,
I'm still writing 25, you know?
look,
That
man,
is hard.
I'm going to be
stop
doing,
that.
I just got in the habit of writing 25, okay?
Right.
What am I doing? I need to get back to the
It is
one.
kind of hard.
That works for me.
Okay, so September 10th, that's what we were talking about, okay. All right, that works, that works, that works. All right.
Perfect. Sounds wonderful.
December 10th, yeah.
Just other dates for this month, obviously, the 12th, we have a city council meeting, the 26th, we have a city council meeting, and not totally finalized yet, but we've been working towards, starting in February, going to every week. The first and third being the work sessions, and the second and fourth being the legislative sessions.
Both and what, the 26th?
Yeah,
And what time are those meetings?
6.
6 for all of them was what we were saying, yeah?
Oh, Lord, I put 6 a.m., not me.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm just turning
you're
over
welcome to
again.
come here at 6 a.m.
I'm a wake
will
up
be here.
person at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what the world?
Also, there's a calendar here for each council person for the conference room, in case people wanted to schedule their own
Yeah,
office hours. That's another opportunity to have constituents come in here before or after a session
I was
or
probably gonna
another
pick the
day
First Monday of every month works before the work
that may be
session,
available.
if that's cool with you guys.
So Hannah is the one that you would need to contact for scheduling, stuff like that. She
Okay.
takes care of all the scheduling stuff.
I have all mine face to face.
I go back to the meeting flow. Is that finalized? You're gonna go every week, 6 o'clock with the rotation?
Yeah,
Do we have to do any kind of resolution to change the,
yeah.
yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, Ashley's presented a draft.
Okay.
I just need to revisit that email. I don't remember offhand exactly.
I'm only asking for the sanity of department heads so they can start scheduling stuff out.
Yeah,
Is
no,
there-
you're
Is there a
fine.
timeline with Granicus to get that updated?
It's done.
It's done? I mean, look-
Beautiful.
Okay, cool.
look at that.
Good job. All right.
It was Hannah. I can't take credit
Your
for that.
your requested agendas updated as well?
No.
No, okay. All right. You tell me when, and I'll let them go, so.
Well, you should be able to see it once we can get on there and change everything. The only thing in looking at the dates for 2026 for the new schedule that we're talking about, February the 16th is President's Day. So we have been doing if there's a holiday on a Monday, we were moving them to Tuesday. However, the 17th, that evening is not available in here. So we need to,
That's a
you guys need to
county meeting.
let me know what you guys want to do with that date. And then also, the week of the 15th of June is MML. So I need to know what you want me to do then as well. And then if there's anything you want to cancel or change with regard to December for the holiday.
Thank you. for all
We just
this.
got through one.
Yeah,
I know, right?
thank you for that. Yeah, okay. No, okay, that's good. We're moving right along with that planning. That's great.
Or do you want to cancel the February 16th meeting week? Or that holiday when it's the 16th, that Monday, and then the 17th is not available in here, so.
I mean, Julie, if it's not available, I would say cancel it.
Yeah, just, I
I
would.
mean, it's not available.
What?
The
February
the
16th.
President's Day weekend, that's the same week as,
February 16th and 17th are not available, so we'll cancel that.
For council meeting.
For council.
This room isn't, it's a holiday, and then the
Okay.
next day is
Okay.
not
county
available, so.
council.
Okay, so we're canceling that week. And then, June
The June
15th.
15th.
Well, for MML, I think it depends on how many of us are going to MML.
I'll be going.
Well, but still, why would we have a meeting when some of us will be out? I mean, do you know what I mean? If it's a group of people that go to MML, why would we?
And I don't
Keep
know this
meetings.
because I haven't attended MML. I've done Mako, but if MML is like Mako, the administration will be there, department heads will be
Right.
there. So
Yeah,
I don't
it's,
know
I
that
don't,
you're.
I don't think
No.
we'd be able to even have a
We would
meeting,
need to
honestly.
cancel.
I would just cancel.
What is it, Cookie?
Healthy.
You have a fifth Monday in June, by the way. Just point that
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
Thanks.
You were the kid that always raises his hand. I said, teacher, you forgot.
Yeah.
well, move your dates a little, move it a week.
Gonna have a quiz.
I mean, I still, oh, thank you.
That's good.
Oh, Nick is addicted to.
I still think, if we have MML, and, it's up to everybody else, but I don't see
Yeah.
a problem with canceling it for that week.
You could cancel any special meeting need to happen. You have the 29th if need be.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
Yeah,
some,
Yeah, if we,
something
if we
comes
have
up.
to, if we have to do it.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. thank you, April.
So what's the decision?
Cancel.
Cancel.
We're canceling the week of the 15th for June?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then December, if you can look at December and let me know what we're doing there. That would be great.
I think the same thing for December, and if we need to schedule one, we can, but the 21st and 28th,
So you want to cancel both of them?
what do you think? I think we did this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and we have the town hall tentatively on the 10th, so that gives us more time, so I agree.
Is that going to work with legislation, you think? Okay.
you
So
can figure it out.
cancel 21 and 28 of December, correct? Okay.
Yeah, people go on vacation.
I think everything else is good, so I'll have Hannah update the schedule. We'll get it posted online, and I'll have her email it to everybody.
Perfect, and thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions before we adjourn for this evening?
It's good to have
Can I ask
these
one thing?
sessions, I think.
Just because this was on here. The city committee process improvements, I do think it's important just to talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Because it involves all of us in this room. Nick and I have meetings with all of the chairs and city liaisons in the next month. Probably should have happened 2 years ago, but it's a good time to touch base and say, is the purposes being met? Do we feel like we're in the right ballpark? Do we need to change things when we look at things? Do we need to standardize things? So there's back-end stuff that's been happening. I do have a question for you, and I don't need an answer today, but we're trying to define expectations, right? I think that it's really important that our city liaisons know why they're there, as well as our committee members and our chairs and what they're there for and what their purpose is. And I'm just curious what council feels is your purpose for being on the committee itself. I don't need to know tonight, but like, I want it to be meaningful for you as well.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if it's a report out or you're bringing stuff that you're hearing in, but I think it's really important that we all feel like it's a collective group working in the same direction on that. And then also, Public Art Committee and Truth need council members. So,
I was doing the
Parks too.
art,
and Parks.
Public art.
Yeah. So again, not decided tonight, but as we go through this process of looking at this, I think it's really important that, we get input from everybody. Who's
And we do
I think
have,
we were going to
And I still need to take, I
Yes,
still
I
need.
and we do have work sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I still need a committee, and we still need to have that discussion
Yeah.
about
Do we wanna do
that as well.
now, or do, yeah.
You can have truth.
We're here to plan.
I was getting ready to throw sustainability at her.
Definitely would
I
like the
mean, not that it's bad,
sustainability.
it's just
Yeah,
that
it's-
it's a conflict with another meeting that I have, because I took Angela's committee and not realizing that mine were both on the same day, and it's like, and
That's
then I
my problem as well.
I have community meetings.
What day is Ruth?
It's third Wednesday.
Third Wednesday?
Third Wednesday.
WIDAC is
Okay,
when?
that's, so,
When is WIDAC? Yeah.
My name is
Third
on-
Wednesday at what time?
My name is on Truth, and it's not supposed to be.
6, okay.
your name's on the Public Art Committee too, and it's supposed to be mine.
Well, then we need to go down and make sure it's on
Yeah.
the right thing right now.
But on my list, we
So
changed.
I was on the zoo committee, but that does not exist anymore. So I don't have that one anymore. I've had an absurd number of committees somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it's whenever, but
Yeah,
I would
so
like
she- yeah,
the
she wants to-
sustainability and to look at Truth maybe.
I
I
think-
mean,
I think Truth
if
would be
they,
good for you.
that would be fine. Be
Why don't
great.
why don't we just go down the list and see if it's correct for
Okay,
the
let's-
26
yeah.
anyway?
Where is it? I'm trying to, I thought I saw it.
It's in the pile.
It was
Oh, here
toward
it
the
is.
back of
Flip
the,
right
yep.
to it. Look at that. Okay, so Public
I
Art
did the same
Committee,
thing.
I had taken, which I can do I can usually do the Public Art Committee. The last couple of
Wait.
meetings have been Nick's
You're,
appointments. at the
you're
same
on
time.
Public Art? Mm-hmm. Oh,
And I'm on PAC 14, that was the
Right.
confusion.
okay.
I think that's probably.
Oh,
where she
okay,
came from.
okay.
So if you. I'm Public Art.
Okay.
I don't know where
I'm going
my
to
list
give
is.
sustainability to Melissa,
Yes, I will take that.
because that I had the same situation where I had 2 meetings back. I had the DAC, or I think was it the DAC and the green team on the same day or something like that. And then, Angela, you have Human Rights Advisory Committee. April has the Youth Development Advisory Committee. Sharon's listed as the Truth Committee as well. So if you wanted to take the Truth Committee,
I can take the Truth Committee.
Yeah.
okay. Disability, BPAC, Zoo Commission doesn't exist anymore. Parks and
Angela, you're
Recreation.
still on the bike?
And pedestrian.
Yeah.
Parks is April. Tri-County Council, we don't have a seat on right now.
That used to be.
When is
Deshawn.
that available again?
I have
Can we
no
find out?
idea. Yeah.
Cool, because we need to have a seat on there. Tri-County Council doesn't have any vacancies right now. Sharon's on,
Everything.
It does look like that.
okay, so you've got the Salisbury Wycomico Metropolitan Planning. I've got Library Board, Town, Gown, and Airport are Sharon, so I've managed to drop 2.
So Michelle has,
Do they have the nights on there?
No, they don't.
See, my issue is Wednesday nights, when
distributed.
a lot of them meet, and I cannot do
I
Wednesday.
don't worry
I know.
about that.
Well, that's the Sustainability Committee, too.
See, that works out better for me to do the nights.
Wednesdays are hard.
So it
Wednesdays are
works
hard
out
for
great.
me.
Okay.
We Yeah, if you want to take that and the truth, I think that would be.
Yeah, I can take the sustainability and the truth committee. You want to do a resolution at the next meeting?
I don't, do we have to?
Or do we have to do?
No.
We don't have- no,
We just
we just-
appoint, we're just, okay.
Yeah, we
We
just
just
usually
looking
do
at
it.
you.
We prefer to do it in a meeting of some sort, so it's public facing, at least so everybody knows who's
Okay.
signed. up.
Alan, in response to what our, just my input on what it should be if you're on these committees, you report out what they're currently doing and share any promotion or anything that they're working on, that's all. Kind of awareness piece.
The way it was
And we
always,
do want to know with YDAC, they wanted to know the responsibilities and things that they needed to do with the youth, for the youth. I recommended doing activities with the youth, at least once a month, doing some kind of activity. That's why when they asked the first time, I said, let's take the kids to the parade, let them be a part of the Christmas parade. Because that's the only way they're gonna get acclimated with doing anything.
Give them some
they
direction.
did a great job, by the way.
They did.
They really did. They looked like they were having a blast.
That was hard-headed. That's why we ran out of candy.
I was gonna say, how much candy were they throwing all at once, yeah?
And Kanisha trying to take the candy from the girls to give to the boys. I said, nope, because they didn't listen.
Yeah, I mean,
Time with them, though.
these advisory committees, obviously times change and different things and different priorities, and I think that that's what we're trying to figure out now is hearing from them and what they're because from the mayor's office standpoint, for the limited time I've been in, haven't received a lot of feedback from these committees. And are they looking for us to give them guidance, or are they looking to provide us with things that they'd like to do? I think that's an open conversation
that's-
right now.
so that's-
And some might exist in one realm and some might exist in the other, and that's okay. But that's what we're trying to work through right now, you know?
And have them,
That's what I've always seen
I think
our
the game
role
on
as,
next
being
year,
that facilitator
this year.
between.
I want to do the youth come out and help facilitate some of the games and things and stuff like that, and just give them like community service hours, but acclimate them into being beneficial with the younger kids, and helping us, keep an eye on them and whatever. And I think that'd be a good little program, because we had quite a few at a time, and we couldn't, you can't keep your eyes on all those kids when they're in several different places. But I think they could help us with that. That would be good for them to help us with, give out the snowballs and stuff like that. Give them hands-on things to do, teach the kids how to play box hockey and stuff like that.
since the composition of the committees changes, find out what they think they've signed on for and what they'd like to
That's
bring to
exactly
the
it.
committee.
Yeah, every committee was formed with legislation that has a purpose line in it, and it's just about quite literally dusting it off and sitting in a room and be like, is this still your purpose? Is this
Right.
what you want to do, or are we missing something, or should we
Right.
change it up? Again, it's a good practice for us to go through. So.
And I have
I
one more
think
thing.
the two committees I would look at, this is not me being biased or anything, the two committees I would look at as like kind of the prime examples of what committees should be doing are the Sustainability Committee, which they're a locomotive train. Good luck have fun with that ride. They really are. They're amazing folks. They're all very, very highly motivated to get stuff done, and they're very ideas oriented, and they set goals. They're a very well-oiled machine in that. And then the other is the DAC, in that they identify problems that can help the administration and the city make changes that are necessary. So like both of them have their strong suits, and they both operate, I think those two right there are like kind of, in my experience in serving on a lot of different committees, as to what those committees are meant to do. And I've always seen my role as the city council liaison as someone who can answer questions that they have about the legislative process, bring information back from them to the council members or to the administration and say, hey, look, they're talking about this, they had some questions, can I relay some answers for them, that kind of thing. Or that they would like to do this thing. So I've always looked at it like that. I'm fairly impassive. I very rarely get into the discussions that they're having. I just kind of let them do their thing, and just, if they'll turn to me. I know I get the swiveled heads. Everybody turns and looks at you. But I try not to impose any stuff on them. I like to let them do their thing. But I see that, being that a liaison is literally just somebody who is connecting two ends, and that's what I see the role as for the council, for me personally. But, I mean, I don't know what that was how it was explained to me when I first took on these roles, so.
And I know it's not on topic for tonight, but I did have someone reach out to me asking me about Zooms and if we were going to go back to Zoom. So I know there was problems before. I was informed of that. So I just think maybe at some point we need to discuss.
It's on the January 12th session.
Okay, great. Thank you.
It's an easy solution if you just do view only. And
Yeah.
you don't allow people to get into the forum, so.
Yeah, I think it kind of stinks that people aren't able to ask questions or make public comments in that way. And if we can find a way that can do that, that's the other thing too, because it doesn't give them the full experience. It's just like them watching it on PAC 14. But I mean, I know that there are limitations. There's like, so if we can figure out a way, that would be great. But if not, I understand.
If I can add one, if I can add one thing to the boards and commissions conversation, I would like to say that I really think it's needed that the members of the boards and commissions, particularly the advisory committees, they need to know what they're allowed to do, what resources they have available to them. Marketing, for example, you know, can they connect with the comms team and have things put out there? A lot of them didn't even know that they have money that was budgeted by the council and, you know, in this fiscal year. What do the parameters for that look like? I mean, we've had this conversation too over and over. But I just feel like that needs to be, excuse me, put as a priority because they have goals and, you know, they are ready, like, to do things. And they just don't know how. They don't know who. They don't know where. You know, they just need some guidelines. And I also feel like the staff liaisons really need some direction too, as far as what their roles are, in addition to the chairs and the vice chairs and I think all of them need to have a secretary. I mean, all the stuff that we've talked about, they just need some guidance. And I feel so bad for them. Like, it is heartbreaking sitting through a meeting and they're just completely lost. So please help them.
Oh, that's the intent. And to your point, we don't want to tell them what to do. That's why we want to have the open conversation to feel out collectively as a whole with the council involved, is it meeting the purpose and the intent and what are the ideas? Because we want the feedback. We're just not getting it, or maybe it's not getting through the proper channels to get back to us. And I think that is, you know, something we can course correct as we go through this practice. But I don't disagree with anything you said. I mean, they're there for a purpose. They care about whatever the incentive is that they're working on. So we want to embrace that.
Awesome. But if you don't know how to lead, somebody has to guide the ship. Even if you're the liaison, you have to give them some kind of idea, because they were like, in the wide deck, they were like, what are we supposed to be doing? We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're working with youth. You've got to come up with some kind of ideas to help the youth. You got to come up with programming and events to help the youth. So, just like I said, that's why we started with the Christmas thing, trying to get them acclimated and trying to show them how to do, not just us, but the rest of the members of the committee, to do whatever they needed to be done. But I mean, I am a youth person. I love the youth. So I have ideals like pouring out of my head. I don't want to take the leadership. I just want to lead them in the right direction. So.
Yeah, and going just on that topic alone, right? You want to do events and things with kids. Great. There's liability issues. There's all kinds of stuff that come along with that. So having these proactive conversations and knowing that this is something you want to do, even though WIDAC might organize it, it's still, in essence, the city that's supporting this happening. So you want to go through the proper procedures to make sure everything's covered and everybody's, you know,
Just in case.
up on the up and up, and we're not just throwing stuff out there. But yeah, I think this is a good time to do it. It's a good opportunity to, you know, just kind of reconnect. So that's our intent. And also to standardize a little bit. 24 members in WIDAC versus 5 in another. I mean,
What?
how do you ever hit a quorum? I don't know. So like, looking at things like that. Maybe you do. That's fantastic. But yeah, it's tough sometimes. So it's kind of all over the place. But I appreciate your guys' input on all.
No worries. Thank you. All right, guys.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, it's a wrap.